take a big wide pan from you coming in for the title card.
Yep, so you're going to hear producer Mike here, man. Here we go. Stand by on camera, Drew.
Raises all of 18.
Stand by Drew's mic. Stand by to open them up.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Behind the scenes, inside the truck. Ready, 18.
Here we go. It's be a two-shot coming out.
And dissolve 18.
And 2.
Ready, insert fine 2. Insert fine 2.
Go, Drew.
And welcome. It's Game 3 of the Rockies series at Coors Field against the Washington Nationals. The Rockies at 28-45. The Nationals now with the best record in the National League after their 12-5 victory yesterday. It is our behind-the-scenes night. We're going to take you places you've never been before, particularly on the television side this evening. Well, the showers have passed. Welcome, everybody. With George Frazier, I'm Drew Goodman. Tonight, the Major League debut of Edward Cabrera, and all we've ever heard about this kid, and you've seen him a lot in Tulsa, a Bugs Bunny changeup.
You know what? I look at his changeup. If any of you are duck hunters, you know, that duck's flying in, and all of a sudden you hit it, and it kind of flutters to the ground. That's what his changeup looks like. Looks like a guy parachuting out of a plane and just flutters to the ground. This is a left-hander coming up. Putman goes down, and then Outman will start tomorrow. Now, with him, he's 8-4, 294. He has given up 15 home runs in Tulsa, and this is a hitter's league. A lot of those ballparks are small in the Texas League, but I think Edward Cabrera, if he doesn't get caught up in the third deck, if he keeps his mind straight, and he's got a guy he's familiar with behind the plate in Rosario that'll nurse him through this thing, I think he could have an excellent start tonight. If the fastball starts to get up into the zone and he doesn't have command of the changeup, then it could become difficult for him. Folks, I'm telling you, you're going to see Andy Messersmith. Old folks, think about that. Lariona, young guy now, right? Well, two of the best changeups in baseball. His might be 2A. I mean, it is that good.
That's high praise. And the guy that will be working with him from a pitching coach standpoint is Bo McLaughlin. And Bo pitched in the big leagues. He's been in this organization for a while. He is now the co-pitching coach. He's handling all the starters. And here is his resume. Served as the Rockies pitching coordinator from 09 to 011. George, he's another guy we've known for a while.
Well, for a long, long time. And Bo McLaughlin is a guy that, quite honestly, he brought around Franklin Morales. He brought along Jimenez. He's brought along Shashin, Corpus. A lot of guys that were in Tulsa had success. And most importantly, Jeff Francis. He was a part of what Jeff did and his success. He's been the rover the last couple of years, was more comfortable working with the staff, and that's why they made the switch and put him back in Colorado Springs. They've had success there with him, and unfortunately Bob leaves. This is your next guy in line, and I think it's great for Bo to get the opportunity to come up and work with Jim Wright.
All right, very good. When we come back, we'll continue with our behind-the-scenes look. We'll get you back inside our television truck as we get you ready for the first pitch tonight, the Rockies and the Nationals.
our special broadcast. It's behind-the-scenes night at Coors Field for the Rockies and the Nationals. We're right up the left field line, tucked away in the corner. It's our Root Sports production truck, and we want to welcome you inside the truck. I'm Jenny Kavnar. I will be here all night long, and I have to introduce you to the people that I always hear in my ear. This is Mike Fox. He's our director for the night. This is Tavis Strand. He'll be our producer, so you can hear them live on our live stream. Online, just go to rootsports.com/Rocky Mountain. Follow us along all night, and don't forget to check us out on social media via Facebook and on our Twitter at @rootsports_RM. We have some great prizes to give away tonight. We also have a baseball game to play tonight. So, guys, I was just wondering, do you think I can throw us to break? Because, you know, that'd be kind of fun.
You can.
Okay, you start counting.
Here we go. Ready?
Roll X, take red, fade to black. We're in break.
15.
Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, moving forward. By CenturyLink, fast speed and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. And by Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at Southwest.com. And welcome inside Coors Field. It is clear above 20th and Blake right now as Edward Cabrera strolls to the Coors Field mound, making his major league debut. 24-year-old, a native of Bani in the Dominican Republic a year ago. He led the entire minor leagues in strikeouts, and this year, George, he was so good they invited him to the Futures game. But right now his Futures trying to get out the Washington Nationals.
Well, he's supposed to start Thursday night, the Texas League All-Star game in Tulsa. He's supposed to be at the Futures game. I think this All-Star game is a whole lot better than those two.
I think if you asked him, he would concur. So Cabrera has finished his warm-up pitches. Danny Espinosa will lead it off. Here's the rest of Davey Johnson's lineup, presented by Southwest.com. Bryce Harper will hit second. Ryan Zimmerman, he had a home run last night. And then Michael Morse, Ian Desmond had 3 doubles among 4 hits yesterday. Mark DeRosa's in the starting lineup in left field. Tyler Moore had a big day. He had a home run as well yesterday. Jonathan Solano is behind the plate. Jordan Zimmerman having a good year, not only on the hill, but swinging the bat at .318.
Now you look at all these numbers for Cabrera. Wins, he's second. Third in ERA. Whip, he's first. .090, ridiculous. Strikeouts, he's fifth. And I think the innings pitch first says a lot how he works deep into the ball games. He's taken a no-hitter in Tulsa twice at beyond the 7th inning. I tell you, this kid will throw strikes typically, and he's a guy that will utilize the changeup. His fastball will range anywhere from 86 to 91. This first one at 92, so it tells you a little bit amped up here at the ballpark.
Yeah, both of his first two fastballs at 92. 75 degrees our game time temperature. It's cooled off a little bit with the afternoon showers. Hopefully that helps all those heroic folks who are battling the wildfires in Colorado. That was another fastball. It's 2-1. And there's a closer look at the weather data. Not too much of a breeze. There's the first changeup, and it misses 3-1.
And that's a pitch a lot of times with younger hitters they will chase out of the strike zone. It is devastating. But I think what's going to happen with the Nationals, particularly after the first start against the Rockies, where they were eaten up by Jeff Francis's changeup. That's one out. Might be hard and loud, but it's an out. Congratulations, son, and welcome to the fraternity of Major League Baseball players. You're here.
And you don't care how you get that first out. So Espinosa lines out to Gonzalez. He's in left field. Dexter's in center. Tyler Colvin is in right field tonight. Michael Kadyr's playing first. Todd Helton sitting it out. Chris Nelson. Marco Scudero at short. We've been seeing Johnny Herrera there. Great to see Marco back in there after the shot to the head from Monday night against Strasburg. And that's on the corner to Bryce Harper for a strike. Harper's just 1 for 9 in the series. That one hit was an infield hit. A little roller down the third base line. Edward Cabrera, not a big guy. He's listed at 6 foot and 175 pounds.
I like the fact that they threw the changeup, and that's the curveball, first one thrown here. One thing they have worked, Dave Schuler, the pitching coach in Tulsa, is starting to try to introduce the cutter or a slider with Cabrera to give him a secondary breaking ball.
And that fastball down low, so it's another 3-1 count. In the minor leagues, if you include this season's numbers, Cabrera has an ERA in the minors of right about 3, which is impressive. Here's the 3-1, and Harper swings late on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. I don't know if it's, as you say, George, obviously he's amped up. It's his big league debut, but a couple more ticks on the fastball than the scouting reports suggest.
And what I have seen in Tulsa, I mean, I've seen him at 91 a couple of times. I've seen 5 of his starts this year in Tulsa.
And there's a base hit to center field. That was the changeup. It was left up. And Harper's at first for Ryan Zimmerman. Jerry Weinstein is the Rockies catching coordinator or catching coach at the major league level. And he knows this kid's arsenal very well.
He's got a wipeout changeup. He's got one of those Bugs Bunny come to a stop halfway to the plate, can throw it to left-handers and right-handers. He's got average velocity, kind of 89, 91 range, but can pitch to his glove side, can pitch in and developing curveball. I mean, the changeup was so good that he used the change in lieu of the curveball a lot. And I know this year the emphasis was on pitching into right-handers more and developing his breaking ball to a greater extent.
Runner going, and the throw to second goes sailing into center field, and Harper is up and safe at third. And another throwing error on Willeen Rosario. That is his 7th error this year, and they've all been throws that have either tailed or flown right into center field. This one was just this was nowhere close to Chris Nelson.
Well, a lot of times when you have a strong arm, the way he has it, you'll let your hand fly out to the outside of the baseball, or you'll rotate to the inside, and it causes that sail, and it becomes more prominent because of the velocity on the baseball.
1-0 on Zimmerman, and that pitch misses in. 2-0. Home plate umpire is Ed Hickox tonight. Mark Carlson, Angel Hernandez, Chris Conroy first, second, and third. There's Hickox. Two 0 on a dangerous hitter, Ryan Zimmerman. And this is chopped over the mound. It's going to get the run home. Nelson's going to throw out Zimmerman. So that error proves costly as Bryce Harper strides home with the Nationals' first run. 26th RBI for Ryan Zimmerman. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Michael Morse. Well, the Nationals put together 21 hits yesterday. And if you have a team that has 21 hits, guess what? Everybody has a good day. Morris seems to have a lot of good days against the Rockies. He's 20 for 40 in his career against Colorado.
It's been amazing. This guy came in here last year. Seemed to play catch with the seats a lot. Seemed to hit a lot of line drives into the gap. A little bit of an unusual preparation before he gets into the box every time. But it's powerful bat speed.
There's a good changeup, and it's 2-1. Morse had 4 hits in yesterday's game, along with Ian Desmond, who's in the on-deck circle.
That's the separator for a young pitcher, to throw a 2-1 change. Because you're not going to see it, a 2-0 change, to be a strike on a swing and a miss. Big league hitters don't expect that. They think fastball only.
3-1 count. And George, to your point, 3-1 changeup.
He'll throw it in any count, any time, and he'll throw it for a strike. He doesn't care, right or left-handers. Look on a Supermo coming right out of the hand, typical circle change, but look how much he rotates to the inside on the ball. That's what causes the curveball action to it.
.217 strikeouts, the most in minor league baseball last year.
And that changeup was the main reason behind that. With a lot of young hitters, they would chase that, and particularly the command he had of it.
It's also the most in the history of the Rockies organization. Never had a guy strike out that many in a minor league season. Got a couple of starts for the Rockies in spring training before being sent to minor league camp. Last year he started the season in the Sally League with Joe Michaluk and the Asheville Tourists, and then he was moved along and played for Jerry Weinstein at Modesto.
Well, he really solidified their ability to get into the playoffs and win the second half when he came there.
And there's his first big league strikeout. So an error hurts Cabrera in the first inning. An error on that throw by Willeen Rosario. So it's 1-0 Washington. Edward Cabrera in his big league debut.
The Nationals take a 1-0 lead over the Rockies in the top of the first. We hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. It's just beginning. You can join all the fun online, rootsports.com/Rocky Mountain. Now, here's another fun thing we're doing tonight. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at rootsports_RM. What we want to know first is which Rocky is going to get the first hit of the night. Tweet now your answer with the hashtag #BeHere. Also, Mark Stout, he's wandering around Coors Field. Mark, where are you?
Hey, Jenny, where I am now is underneath the seats that run from home plate to first base. That way goes to the elevators to the press box. Right here, Rockies Clubhouse. Fans don't get to see this place, but tonight we're going to show you 3 specific areas here in the clubhouse. You don't have access to this, but we do tonight. Where the players eat, the video room where they prepare for the opponent, and the batting cages between the dugout and the clubhouse underneath the stands. It's all coming up tonight. Jenny?
Thanks, Mark. Sounds like fun. Don't forget which Rocky's going to get the first hit. Tweet it at rootsports_RM. For now, Drew, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Jenny and Mark, thank you. Dexter Fowler has a 2-0 count working against Jordan Zimmerman. Zimmerman has pitched at Coors Field in the past and pitched well here. He has started 3 ball games here. He's 1-0 with a 3.72 at Coors Field. He's having a terrific season ERA-wise. He just hasn't had a lot of run support. That's why he's 3-6.
Well, right now he's 5th in the National League in lack of support. Sandoval Sanchez getting a little over 2 runs. Volquez about 2.5. Correa almost 3. Lee at 2.98. It's all of the major leagues. And Zimmerman at 3, a little over 3. 3.09 run support. When I talked to Mike Rizzo last night, I visited with him after the ball game and showed that this young man has pitched so much better than what his record indicates.
Dex fouls that pitch off, so we'll see another 3-2 pitch. Dexter has faced Zimmerman 5 times. He's 0 for 5. Here's the arsenal. Fastball slider primarily for Jordan Zimmerman. Ball 4. He just missed off the outside corner with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. If we can go back to that graphic, the red is the percentage. So almost 60% of his time, which is not unusual, he's going to throw a 4-seam fastball. His next pitch in terms of utilization, George, is that slider.
Looking at with his fastball and his curveball. And the thing is that he'll throw the cutter at times and then really work the ball inside, outside, and work both sides of the plate. Zimmerman, in the eyes of Mike Rizzo, their general manager, slow tapper, but Zimmerman's very good.
High throw out at first. Tyler Moore stayed on the bag. So Marco Scudero thrown out by Ryan Zimmerman.
Well, that's why Jim Tracy's out here having a conversation right now too with Mark Carlson. You're going to get a good look at it here, folks, on a replay. He's tapper. Scudero's going to get after it. Zimmerman's going to charge. Exchange good. Throw high. It looked like Scudero got there. And Glenn Allen Hill also argued this. You'll see it now on the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mode. Is he able to get back down?
That's safe.
Safe to me. You better believe it.
So instead of 2 on and nobody out, it's a runner in scoring position, 1 out. Here's Cargo, 2 for 3 yesterday before he came out of the ball game, along with a couple of others when the game got a little bit out of hand. Cargo takes a strike.
More numbers on Zimmerman. Last 5 starts, 0-2, but an earned run average of 3.66. You dig a little deeper, the opposition's only hit .268 against him over those starts.
Cargo's behind 0-2.
What their general manager expressed to me was if he could have gotten the run support that, say, Strasburg has gotten, what Gio Gonzalez has gotten, we could have 3 9-game winners right now, and it wouldn't even be close. Maybe 10 for Zimmerman.
Zimmerman's a heck of an athlete. He went to Wisconsin Stevens Point, a Division III school in his native Wisconsin, and played football as well as baseball. He was a record-setting wide receiver. Fastball's high, 1-2. Cargo's got a 15-game hitting streak going at home. He's hitting .446 during the 15-game hitting streak, including 7 home runs. That's quite a run. Drove in his 54th run last night.
You want to know why his earned run average is so low? How about this average with runners in scoring position? And this is throughout all of major leagues. They've hit 120 against Zimmerman. Wade Miley's in Arizona. That's why he's having a great year too. 145, Capuano 150, Kane 154. Do you get the pattern here with these guys? They're all near the top in wins, losses.
Down the line. Oh, what a play by Tyler Moore. That just saved a run. Moore, the first 2 games of the series, was playing left field. His natural position, the position he's played throughout the minor leagues, is first base, and we see why.
Well, you see why. And if LaRoche is at first with the left-handed throw, I don't think he makes that play. But because it's a right-handed thrower, the glove on the ball hit side made it a little easier for him to get to the baseball and get up and get it to Zimmerman and retire Gonzalez.
That was a rocket. And you'd have been looking at least a double, if not a triple, in a 1-1 game. Now Kadire at the plate. Michael takes a strike. Kadire's 19 hits in the month of June. 11 are extra base hits. 5 homers and 6 doubles. That's outside. We haven't checked the lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines for Jim Tracy. Tyler Colvin will bat 5th. Pacheco, he had 3 hits last night. He's got the average at 302. That's the highest by far among all NL rookies. Chris Nelson, Willeen Rosario, and Cabrera. The Nationals staff as a whole has a 2.98 ERA. That's the best in baseball. The other thing that's impressive, they have the highest strikeout rate in the National League. Almost a hitter per inning.
A lot of power and a lot of good off-speed stuff to go with the power. Strasburg 97, curveball 82, Carter. Then you got to look at Gio Gonzalez, what he has with his fastball in the mid-90s and a great breaking ball. I mean, that answers a lot of your questions there. If they have both, it's pretty special.
Nobody talks about Ross Detweiler.
Yeah, first-round draft pick out of Missouri State for them. It's worked out of the bullpen, now going into the rotation again.
Well, he was the 07 #1. This kid, Jordan Zimmerman, was their 07 #2.
Getting production out of that draft that they've been able to draft high.
Well, here we have a great graphic for you to show you. This rotation has been very special. Strasburg was the first pick in the 09 draft. Gio Gonzalez was in a trade from Oakland this past offseason. Zimmerman was drafted, as we said, in the second round of the 07 draft. Detweiler at the end, drafted first in 07. Edwin Jackson.
Well, and the main reason
a pickup.
The main reason they made the trade to get Gio Gonzalez was they obviously could tell he turned the corner. 31 wins the last 2 years. He's got 10 now this year for the Nationals. But they had to give up a guy named Malone, who's 7-2 right now for Oakland, and Derek Norris, who had a walk-off home run on Sunday to win a ball game. One of their most prized catching prospects.
Kadire goes down swinging. Fowler's left at third. 1 inning complete. The Nationals up 1-0.
Rockies as we head to the top of the second. That's a live look at our production crew. That's because it's behind the scenes night with Root Sports. We're giving you the ins and outs of our production truck and Coors Field. And speaking of Coors Field, we want to know what your favorite memories are here at Coors Field. Tweet them to @RootSports_RM. Don't forget to hashtag be here. We're going to share some of them later in the show, but more importantly, the best answer will get a Rockies jersey. That sounds pretty cool to me. And don't forget, you can follow us. We're streaming live online, rootsports.com/Rocky Mountain. I can't wait to see behind the scenes with you guys, Drew and George.
You get to see us every night. Hey, listen, I want you to do us a favor right now, could you?
Yes, sir.
All right, it's 1-0 on Ian Desmond, and he lines one right to short. Scudero makes the catch, one out. And that'll bring up Mark DeRosa. I want you to walk over, if you could,
okay,
to Mike Fox, our director tonight, and Tavis Strand, our producer.
You got it.
And ask them if they put makeup on, since they're going to be on camera quite a bit tonight.
Let me actually check.
I'm a little shiny.
You're a little shiny.
You're not shy. You guys are good. You've been tanning, but perhaps we'll teach them. We'll teach them the blot down. During in between breaks. It gets kind of warm in here. Just saying.
The blot down.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
You do it in between innings. I'm definitely sure of that. You actually apply your makeup in between innings.
No, I apply my makeup about 4 minutes before we go on the air. George, though, on the other hand, puts his on at 8 in the morning.
Put it on
around
right
town all day.
Right before I go to eat breakfast.
There you go. Mark DeRosa, who has seemingly been around forever. 2-1 count. DeRosa, very versatile. Play both corner infield spots, corner outfield spots. Played second base in his career. 2-2 count on the 37-year-old Penn graduate. Two-sport star at Penn in football and baseball. Quarterback for the Quakers at old Franklin Field. Changeup is down low, 3-2. On the ground, foul. Join in on the conversation with Toyota Talk. Text Toyota to 720. Share your insights on questions on the game. Plus, learn how to win a $500 gas card. That's a Toyota Talk, 720-720. Ball 4. DeRosa walks with one out. And that'll bring up Tyler Moore. Every time this kid comes up, George, I want to say Mary Tyler Moore.
I'm glad. He probably appreciates you just calling him Tyler Moore.
Well, you never know. Like his folks may have been, big fans of the Mary Tyler Moore
Maybe
show.
his mom or grandmother might be Mary Tyler Moore.
I'll look up what his mom's name is.
I'm keeping him busy, folks.
Dougie normally would have this for
already out on his paper, wouldn't he? He'd have it on one of the stick tabs that he uses through the ball game. Yeah, I like this. Rosario, young kid, going to go out and visit a little bit with Cabrera and say, all right, let's slow things down a little bit. You're getting quick. You don't have to be perfect here. I think that's the biggest struggle for young kids coming to the big leagues. They feel like they've got to do something different to be successful here. And, what you didn't hear in the conversation with Jerry Weinstein was when he said to Cabrera today, it's still 60 feet 6 inches. The ball's still 9 inches around. Just throw the baseball. It's not going to change. They're going to have a bat and they're going to be at home plate. Make your pitches and you'll have success.
1-0 on Moore from Brandon, Mississippi. Hits this high in the air to deep center field. Dexter going back and he can't get it. Moore has hit another home run. He hit one yesterday. This is a 2-run shot and it's 3-0 Washington. About Moore, he's now 13 for 29 since being recalled.
Well, looking at this pitch, it's going to be elevated. Fastball coming out of the hand of Cabrera, trying to sink the ball down, and it was right in the wheelhouse in the middle of the plate for Tyler Moore. He has an awful lot of power, but this is more of a Coors Field home run for me when they're that high and just barely get over the wall. Obviously, it's a home run. Cabrera gave up 15 home runs in Tulsa. Of the 15, 12 were solo shots.
A ball and a strike on Jonathan Solano, native of Colombia. And he's out in front of the changeup. 1-2. Nationals tied a franchise record with the 21 hits yesterday. Franchise record since they moved from Montreal. 12 runs, a season high. 11 extra base hits, a franchise record. Rockies won on Monday night 4-2. Beat Steven Strasburg. Moore has been cooking. They say he not only has great power, he had 19 home runs once as a junior college All-American in a season, but that he's a very, very good hitter. He'll hit for average. Hasn't thrown the curveball for a strike yet. 2-2.
It's a pitch that, because of the great changeup he had, it was later in development, and it just still doesn't have the same feel for the curveball as he does for his changeup. Because that, you know, I can tell you now, only on personal experience, I had a really good slider. And there's times I would fall in love with that slider when I was in the minor leagues in A-ball because I knew they couldn't hit it, versus trying to develop a curveball or develop my split finger farther along than it was.
A reminder to folks watching online to tonight's broadcast, behind the scenes broadcast, if you will, to hit the refresh button and then the watch now button. Refresh button and then the watch now button if you're watching online. Here's the 2-2. And it's way inside. 3-2 on Solano, hitting 8th in the lineup. 3-0 the lead for Washington. There's one out here in the second inning. That's not a guy you want to walk. Solano, not a lot of plate appearances, hitting 8th in front of the pitcher.
Well, that's the deal, and I think, you know, this is where Scutaro can come in and talk to the youngsters, settle down, put it in play. Let us defense make the plays for you. Bo McLaughlin, I mean, putting the dugout today, was around Cabrera in spring training a little bit. Bo had him when he was in Nashville and Modesto as a coordinator, so you're seeing maybe once every 2 months or once a month as you make your travels into those cities. But it's good you go out and slow the game down for him a little bit. Right now, though, with that last fastball at 91 miles an hour, 23 strikes, 22 balls. That is not typical of Edward Cabrera. He's typically a strike thrower. A little bit of nerves, obviously, as it should be.
Chance for the runner at second, and it's a low throw. And one of the strengths of Willeen Rosario right there with his power is his right arm, and he has made some errant throws of late. One in the first inning cost the Rockies ultimately a run, and right there he should have had the force.
Well, there's no question. Ball right out in front of him. And again, he sailed one into the outfield, so maybe he's trying to think and concentrate down low on the throw. I mean, he comes out plenty of time here. Then that strong throw down, scooted under the glove of Scutaro into center field. I mean, he does have the time. You can see the ball's going to skip because it hit the dirt out front. And Scutaro, all he's trying to do is just pick the ball and keep the ball out in front of him. You know, and what Bo's saying to him now, look, all right, this is one of the deals. Let's slow this thing down a little bit. You know, he got a smile out of him on the mound, which is great when you see that. Because, you know what? Let's throw your changeup. What got you here? Did you forget what the changeup was?
First and second, top of the order. There's one out. Danny Espinosa leading off the ball game, hit a line shot right at Carlos Gonzalez. Espinosa, 224 average, but against lefties, he's hitting 323. Turned that fastball over a little bit. It's chopped foul. So it's 1-1 on Espinosa. Because the Dodgers lost yesterday and these Nationals beat the Rockies 12-5. Again, the Nationals have the best record in the National League at 42-30. The Dodgers are 43-32. Cincinnati leading the Central. They're 41-32.
Now San Francisco now tied with the Dodgers for the National League West lead there with identical records of 43-33. Tim Lincecum found out that, oh yeah, I'm Tim Lincecum, the 3-0 shutout today of the Dodgers as he beat Billingsley. So the Rockies 13.5 back. Arizona starting to make their climb 4.5 back.
They swept the Dodgers, did the Giants. Huge late June series between those two. And as George described, it's now a dead heat atop the NL West. Arizona hanging in there. They're 37-36. This is a ground ball base hit. Colvin up with it, and coming to the plate is Solano, and it's cut off. So it is 4-0 on the base hit by Espinosa, his 22nd RBI.
And what you're wondering, well, why did Kadire cut that ball off? That's because Rosario, as a catcher, looks at the distance of where the runner is coming to the plate. If he doesn't feel he has a shot at him, then he's going to yell cut to Kadire to keep everything in a double play mode. If the ball goes through, your base runners more times than not either go when the ball skips away, or then they'll move and advance on the throw to the plate. Then you have second and third. You're trying to keep the double play intact.
Bryce Harper singled his first time. Ground ball to second, should be two. There's one, and there's two. Two-run home run by Tyler Moore, and then an RBI base hit from Danny Espinosa. The Nationals up 4-0. Tavis Strand is producing. He is on the left. That's really good work with the telestrator, George. 4-0 Nationals. It's behind the scenes night. Don't forget you can get an all-access pass inside the television truck and watch the game being produced and directed live on our website. Go to rootsports.com/Rocky Mountain. And don't forget to follow Root Sports on Facebook and Twitter tonight for your chance to win great prizes. There's Stevie, our technical director. He's the one who gets to push all the buttons.
That's the fun part of the job down there.
I would think so.
You just better make sure you punch the one they call.
Steve,
right, Steve? Punch the one they call. Don't get the ones they don't call.
It's like typewriting. It's secondhand nature to Steve. He doesn't even have to. Look anymore.
Foxy, get out of there. Get your hand out of there, Foxy.
Actually, Mike can TD also.
Oh,
Mike,
yes, he can.
Mike's multi-talented. Tyler Colvin will lead off here in the second inning. The Rockies down a 4 spot. Facing a tough customer, Jordan Zimmerman. He's had 1 run or less of support in 6 of his 14 starts. Ball is lifted to right field. Morse went in, went back, went in, went back again. What kind of route was that? Michael makes the catch, but that was a little different.
Did that look kind of like the roller coaster? What was it? The Lazy Z or something? What's it called? I don't know. We need Kenny Miller right now.
It looked like a guy who's a little dizzy.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Oh, I forgot I'm at Coors Field. I don't have to run in. I need to run back a little bit.
Jordan Pacheco at the plate with 1 out.
Swinging a hot bat, Pacheco. He's done a really nice job of maneuvering the baseball around the ballpark. Last night, 3 hits and 5 at bats.
One and one on Jordan. The 3-hit night was his 3rd 3-hit game of the year. How about this, George? He's been the Rockies' full-time 3rd baseman since being recalled in mid-May. Covers 37 games. He has a hit in 31 of the 37
pretty good, huh?
games.
Is that pretty good?
That's better than pretty good.
He plays hitter as good as anybody. And again, he's made himself into a 3rd baseman. Remember, folks, 9 games last year, then spring training. Then it was going to be a tandem deal with Chris Nelson. It didn't work out. The game was a little quick for him. He went back to AAA, slowed the game down, and came back and has made himself a very, very accomplished 3rd baseman in a very short time frame.
3-1, ball 4. A rare walk for Pacheco. Who wants tacos? Remember, when the Rockies score 7 or more during any game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies tacos special. Rockies don't have a hit yet, but they do have a couple of walks. Fowler led off the bottom of the 1st with a walk. Carlos Gonzalez robbed of at least a double, if not a triple, by Tyler Moore, a diving stop by Moore last inning. Here's Chris Nelson. Nelly 1 for 4 yesterday. He's got a 7-game hitting streak. And this is picked up by Zimmerman. What a play. And they turn it into a double play.
I don't think he was on the bag at second.
At second, they gave him the neighborhood play, and I mean the distant neighborhood play to Angel Hernandez.
It was even a late call, I felt like.
It will stand a 5-4-3 double play. Espinosa, yeah, that took him off the bag. Should have been a safe call. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Ford Super Duty. Built stronger, built better, built Ford tough. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T Rethink Possible. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. And by King Soopers, more value for the way you live. Let them not impress you.
No, it goes. Hey, no, it does. It goes that fast. I've seen it. I'm watching it. I was sleeping when I was watching him do it, but I've seen it.
I'm not buying. We go to the third inning, 4-0 Washington. Ryan Zimmerman will lead it off against Edward Cabrera in his major league debut. 2 of the 4 runs are unearned. 2 errors against Willeen Rosario.
One of the distinguishing things I've seen with Cabrera's night to night versus what I watched at the minor league level was the ability to throw strike one. And again, he did it repetitively. Tonight he's 2 for 12. And that's been big for him because now he's not comfortable maybe going to the changeup or comfortable going away from it. You've got to call his game opposite of what you do for a lot of people, which that is normally. Right, that's why. See, I mean, you go fastball, and then you go fastball again, and you got big league guys who are going to sit on the fastball. It was a 91-mile-an-hour fastball that he hit out to left field for Zimmerman, whereas at Tulsa, if he went strike one, you'd see a changeup followed up by that, or a changeup behind and counts, which he's only done 1 time tonight.
133rd home run of Zimmerman's career. It is 1,001st hit.
See, fastball and it's in the inner half. He's a very good low ball hitter. You can tell by the way he drops his lower half to go down and get as much power behind the swing as he possibly can on a low pitch.
Was bothered terribly by that shoulder injury. Got a cortisone shot on Sunday before the game. He went out and went 2 for 4 on Sunday against the Baltimore Orioles. And you include what he's done in this series now. He's 7 for 15 since that shot. In the air to deep right, and Colvin is going to run over in the corner and make the catch against Michael Morse. With 1 out and a run in, 5-0 Washington as we check in again with Jenny.
Hey, Drew, we're showing everyone the ins and outs of the Root Sports production truck tonight like this. This is Artie. Say hi, Artie. He's on our video, so he's making sure everything looks just fabulous. But as it is dinner time for you probably at home, you're wondering maybe, how do the players eat? How do they get around? Well, for that, we're going to get to Mark Stout.
Jenny, I'm at the far end of the clubhouse walking into the players' dining area. This was revamped in the offseason. We used to have equipment in here. Now it's where the guys come and eat. They can come here before batting practice, after BP at about 5 o'clock when the other team is hitting, full spread. Fish, beef, chicken, pasta, you name it, they get it. Same thing happens after the game. They get the full spread. They get to eat in here, got the TVs. It's a great place for the players. Back to Jenny.
Mark thinks you're just making us all hungry in here, and there's no food allowed in the truck, right, Artie?
No.
Okay. He already had his dinner break. He's good to go. I mean, he's working hard over here. Drew, we'll send it back to you.
You know how long Artie Pankoff's been in TV?
How long?
1946 was his first game.
That's not fair.
Ask him.
When was your first game?
When was your first game?
First game televised, 1984.
That's not 1940, whatever you said, Drew.
Well,
Drew's lying.
Is it Drew or George?
Well, both of them. But George was trying to stick up for you.
I started working with Artie about 1986. He was a puppy then. 5-0. The Rockies trailing. Ian Desmond at the plate. He hits it in the air to center field. Pretty well hit. Going back is Dexter. I think he's going to have room. Nope. He can't get this one, and Ian Desmond has hit it out. He went back as if he thought he had a play. That's the 3rd home run already against Cabrera. He gave up 15 this year, and the only stat that jumped out at you that was negative about Cabrera's work at Tulsa was that he was leading the Texas League in home runs allowed.
Well, I think, too, this again plays out to falling behind in counts. And, you know, he's 2 for 13 in first pitch strikes, 2 for 14 now. And I think that's the most difficult part about for tonight. He's just not able to utilize his ability to throw strikes. Dexter chased to the wall, trying to time it with that 6'5.5" frame. Does not get the pitch or the ball caught, but it was close. You'll see Dexter, very good concentration as he got to the wall. Look at the flight of the baseball just to the right of his glove. Well, the other thing that Jim's teetering with now, Cabrera, who was a strike thrower, didn't walk people. He's walked people. He's fallen behind in counts in this ball game. Came up, and it's a fine line for Jim to trace. And he's gone to the phone now to see if Matt Reynolds is ready to go in the bullpen, because you don't want this kid's ego to get totally destroyed to where if he ever comes back here again, he doesn't have the ability to get people out. Jim Tracy's going to go get at Reynolds right now with this young man on the mound. I think he's seen enough. Obviously awarded an awful lot with the Futures game, with the All-Star game start, everything else, getting called here tonight to make a start. And unfortunately for Cabrera, 6 runs, 5 hits. You know, and there has been some errant throws. I understand that, but yet you got to make a little bit better pitches. A rough night for the rookie.
So Edward Cabrera walks off after 2 1/3. Tonight's Chevy's Dare to Compare is brought to you by the Chevy Equinox. 32 highway miles per gallon, outperforms its competition. Chevy made for Colorado. Starters used. The Rockies tonight used their 11th in Edward Cabrera. They have just 13 wins. 21 different pitchers used by the Rockies overall, which is the 4th most in Major League Baseball. They turn now in the 3rd inning with 1 out to Matt Reynolds.
They're going to have to eat up some innings now. Cabrera's failure to work out of the 3rd inning. So again, 5 hits, 6 runs given up by the young left-hander. Well, Matty's going to have to eat up 3 or 4 of these innings, go to Guthrie, but yet you got the same deal working tomorrow. With Outman going tomorrow, who's had struggled to throw strikes and works a little deeper into ball games. 34th appearance for Mr. Reynolds, 3-0 in the season. He does have 1 hold this year. 32 innings, no walks. The strikeouts very good, 31 and 9. Behind 2-0 to Tyler Moore. Last night, Reynolds threw 2 innings, 1 hit and a couple of strikeouts. Jim's probably using him just to get out of the inning because Cabrera was due up 2nd in the 3rd inning. So if he can use Reynolds to get out of this inning, patchwork it onto the right-hander who's warming up in the bullpen, Jeremy Guthrie. Well, let's take a look at this pitches. He'll throw the 2-seam fastball, not as much as he will the 4-seam fastball. Change-up slider. Very good pitch there on the back foot of the right-handed hitting Tyler Moore.
This pitch left up, and it's a line drive toward the left field corner. Cargo cuts it off, but it'll still end up being a double. Second and third, and Jonathan Solano coming up. Moore is 2 for 2, 2-run homer and a double.
One more look, fastball, split finger. You can see the ball tumbling. He's trying to work it to the outer half. It just stayed up in the zone. And a lot of times when you don't grip the ball properly or it slips out of the fingers the way it did there on Matt, the ball will come out and it'll just flutter and stay up. It won't have that pull out front where you get the tumbling action on the split finger.
Rockies bring the infield in halfway. There's one out. They're already down 6-0. Solano fouls it off. Jeremy Guthrie's the piggyback guy tonight. He's just going to get the call a little bit earlier than anticipated.
Well, he's got 2 outs here, plus the 3 the Rockies warm up when they come in to hit. And as I said earlier, Reynolds worked 2 innings last night, so it's get me out of this inning and get me over to Guthrie, and then hopefully Guthrie gives you 3, and then you try to piece it together the rest of the way.
2-2. It's been a great year for the Nationals so far. They've been in first place in the National League East 73 out of 83 days. And they began the day 3.5 above Atlanta for Davey Johnson, whose 1-year anniversary since taking over the club is today. Took over the club last year in Anaheim. First game was a loss for Davey, but they've been above 500 since his tenure with his latest team began.
They're making the right pitches to get the ball on the ground. They're just getting a lot of foul balls. I'd love to have the strikeout now where you prevent that run and having a ball put in play to where you could back up your infield in normal depth and be able to end the inning maybe with another one. Put a lot of strain on a pitcher and yourself with second and third in the infield end. Quick reactions to the baseball.
And this 2-2 is hit a long way to left center field. Cargo going back, and he can't make the catch. 2 runs are going to score, and stopping at second with a double is Jonathan Solano, and he's got his second and third RBIs of the year. It is 8-0. This is last night revisited.
Yeah, not very good right now. Matt Reynolds, and a little bit of the burden fell early on Matt after 2 innings of work last night. This is a ball that cut to the inner half. Gonzalez giving chase to it. Last second jump to try to get to the baseball. Came up a little bit short. Ran out of the reach of the glove, but the ball didn't bounce in, which would have benefited the Rockies. It settled there as it hit the top of the wall and bounced straight back. Reynolds fighting to get this last couple of outs in this 3rd inning and turn it over to someone else. Real close. Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo tells you just about 3 inches from being caught.
Zimmerman has swung the bat well this year. He's got a home run. He's hitting above 300.
I'll tell you right now, this club swung the bat well since they walked into Coors Field in that first ball game. I mean, yesterday 12 runs, 8 runs. That's 20 runs and 28 hits right now in 12 and 11 and a third innings. That is a bunch of damage.
And Bo McLaughlin going to make his second trip out to the mound, or is this 3? Out to the mound to visit with Matt Reynolds right now. 8 runs last night was the most Washington had scored in a Zimmerman start tonight. Excuse me, I'm trying to read this. Doug writes your New York language, and I don't really get it. 8 runs most by Washington. What's that mean? For Zimmerman in a start this year.
That's the most runs that they have produced when he's on the mound.
I don't do shorthand well at all.
I haven't even read it, but I knew what he's talking about.
Well, but you guys are from the same area.
Yeah.
You speak the same language. That's probably the most runs they scored for Zimmerman in like 4 starts.
Pretty much since 6 of his 14, they scored 1 or less.
Can you imagine that? Wow, 6, almost half his starts, 1 or less. I mean, I was kind of kidding around a little bit with Matt Belisle in the dugout today, and I said, you know, he'd been talking about other pitchers and other things. And Burt Blyleven's name came up, Guidry's name came up with the Yankees. Talking to me a little bit about Gator. Infield back, they'll get the out, the runner will advance. Guidry used to come in the dugout after warming up in the bullpen and say, boys, get me 1 and it's over. You knew he had pretty good stuff that night. They'd get 1, it'd be over.
Danny Espinosa coming up. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Espinosa line out and a single and an RBI. 8-0 Nationals. They've out hit the Rockies 7-zip. That's right, the Rockies don't have a knock yet. Deep center field. Dexter will make this play. 4 runs in the inning. 8-0 Washington. They've hit 3 home runs tonight.
To the bottom of the 3rd. It is behind the scenes night here, and we're here in the Root Sports production truck. We've already introduced you to our producer and our director, but we want to hear and find out a little more about what they do, and you can do that the entire game. Just go online to rootsports.com/Rocky Mountain. I have to ask you, because we hear Mike Fox all the time, but what does a producer do? I mean, people want to know. I know, because you're in my ear all the time.
So think about the producer being the coordinator of everything in the truck. So I'm talking to the talent, I'm coordinating the replays. I'm making sure all of our sponsorships get in. I'm talking with the sideline people.
And as Drew mentioned, you know how to count
and
backwards
I know
from 10.
that is my biggest job, is counting backwards.
All right, we'll get to work, boys.
Right,
we'll listen in.
We're going to listen in here, guys.
Ready 5. Take 5. Ready font. Insert font. Flat. Ready 4. Clean. Take 4. Clean. Ready 5. Take 5. Push.
I guess Tavis doesn't talk the
Ready
entire
4.
time, Drew.
Take 4. Ready 2.
I'm enjoying listening to these
Ready
guys.
Take 2.
Here's the Rockies' first knock. Waleed Rosario.
Take 1.
Back up purple. Back up X. Replay's coming, guys. Let's back
squeeze
up the Mo
this
for
down.
me. Mo first.
Ready to take 18.
Mo
Take
first,
18.
Mike.
And squeeze it down.
And Mo when you're ready. Here's
Ready
the pitch, George.
Mo.
You can open up George and Drew.
Now you're looking for that ball away from him on the outside
next.
half of the plate. I think that's the one
Ready
thing.
dissolve
And
X.
taking it to the opposite field, and it's a slider. So that's more
And roll
impressive
X,
to
dissolve
me
X.
than him taking the fastball. Good throw and good job by Rosario. A leadoff
Ready,
single here at the
effective 1.
bottom of the 3rd.
And effect 1. Ready 4. Take 4.
Eric Young Jr. pinch hitting.
Ready 1. Take 1.
And
Ready,
Junior
2, take 2.
hits one on a broken bat that's going to die in front of Bryce
Ready 1, take
Harper.
1.
And Rosario did a nice job of base running. He went about
Ready 5. Take 5.
2/3 of
Then
the
you
way
pull out
there. He had to
McClure,
make
ready
sure it
Ready
dropped.
1. Take 1.
Back up the Mo.
First
Mo
and
then
second,
big
nobody
box,
out.
Mo first. The pitch first.
Ready
George.
effect to Mo.
Mo.
Effect to Mo.
I'll
Roll
take
Mo.
side swing on Silver. So
next?
Silver next.
Ready dissolve Silver.
Silver and then X, John. Silver then X.
Well, you look on a Mike Shaw Super Mo,
And
and you
roll
get a
Silver,
ball on the
dissolve
inside half
X
of the
next.
plate.
Ready dissolve
and he's
X.
able to get his hands
Roll
inside
X,
and
dissolve
bloop the
X.
ball into the outfield.
Ready effect to 1. Effect to 1.
Dexter
Ready,
up
44.
there. Fowler
Ready,
walked
1.
in the first inning, and he
Can you
takes a
move his home
strike.
take from last night? Dexter, storyline 2.
Ready 5. Take 5. Ready 4. Take 4. Ready 2.
And Dex hops out of the way.
Ready,
A
1.
ball
Take
and
1.
a strike. Well, there's a lot of outs left offensively, George, so if you can counterpunch, you're not going to get them
Ready,
back
fine,
typically in
fine.
one fell swoop.
That's
Ready
right.
11. Clean.
You know, you fight your way
Take
through
11.
this thing. 1 or
Push.
2 now, 2 or 3 again. Dexter 15 of
Ready,
45,
4.
hit 333 with runners in scoring
Take 4.
position.
Ready
So
2.
he's home run from last night after the pitch. Right after the pitch.
Ready
guys.
dissolve red
Here's
clean.
his home run from last
And
night.
dissolve red roll track.
Well, last night, Dexter Fowler, for the second time in a few days, hits one out right-handed. George, both have been to the opposite field. All that weight room work, it has paid off.
It has paid off,
Ready,
and believing he can do it. I think that's part of it also.
66 for me, please. 66.
And Dexter hits it hard, but right at Ian Desmond. That turns into a double play.
Ready 5. Take
Chris, the
5.
Camarena Club, Rockies.
Not too many places that Dexter
Ready,
is
1.
going
Take
to
1.
hit it on the ground into a double play, but he hit it
There's a replay
sharply
for you,
right near the
George.
bag, and that was easy for
Ready
Ian
11.
Desmond.
Take 11.
George,
Ready
is it
font.
Go, George.
Insert font. Flat.
The Camarena Loft, located in center field, is a great option
Thanks,
for
Doc.
your group. Available up to 95 people.
Ready
We've been out there a
dissolve 3
couple of
under.
times on telecast.
Dissolve 3 under.
And it is a great place to watch the game from. There's the fans. Everybody wave. Look up at the TV. You're on TV. Wave. Somebody forgot to run out and let them know.
Ready dissolve 4 clean. Dissolve 4 clean. Ready 2. Ready 5. Take
Seguro
5.
takes ball one.
Ready font. Insert font.
Marco grounded to third. His first time up, out on a bang-bang play,
Ready
a
4
slow
clean.
roller to Ryan Zimmerman.
Take 4 clean. Ready 2.
Hitting .321 in the month of June.
Ready 5. Take 5.
Scary moment on Monday when he was hit in the head on a 95-mile-an-hour
package
fastball
one,
from
Danny.
Steven Strasburg. He popped up pretty quickly, said he was fine. He wanted to stay in the game. Keith Duggar examined
Ready 4.
him and
Take
said,
4.
no,
Ready 2.
we're
Right
taking
after
you
the
out.
pitch, Mike. Red.
Ready dissolve red clean. Dissolve red roll
Tracking
track.
red here.
We'll use effect 34.
Oh,
Ready effect 34 to 5. And effective 5. Ready 4. Take 4.
Did not play last night.
Yeah,
Ready,
he's
5,
just sitting down.
1 and 2 on Scutaro.
Hey, Krista, if Scutaro should happen to reach, you want to do a power zone on Carlos Gonzalez?
Ready 2. Base hit to left, and Marco will drive in Willeen Rosario with the Rockies' first run. So it's 8-1, and that will allow Cargo to hit here in the 3rd inning.
Well, and again, one big swing, all of a sudden you're starting to look at the game a little bit differently. Then it's up to the bullpen. Hanging breaking ball out over the middle of the plate to Scutaro. And it is rifled into left field to bring Rosario to the house.
All right, ready effective 4. Ready effective 1. Effective 1.
Wait till after the pitch and we'll do his power zone.
Ready 4. Take 4. All right, Steve, you can come back for that.
After the pitch, ready to show you Cargo's power zone.
Take 2. Cargo with a base hit to left. Ready 5. Take 5. You can pull back and include Cargo first. Broke the bat, but he'll take it. He was robbed his first time up when he hit a rocket down the first base line, and Tyler Moore stole at least a double, maybe a triple from him. 2 on for Kadire.
Well, with an 8-1 lead too, you can see now that Solano out to a short visit saying, let's attack the zone. We're trying to get cute. You're hanging breaking balls, pitching as if it's a 1-0 ball game. Let's get ahead. Let's make pitches and see what happens with it. Kadire on the season, 11 home runs, 47 RBI.
All right, ready 4 clean. Take 4 clean. 1's got the lead runner. 5 will pick up the guy from first. 3 and 2.
There's been a couple of teams, not many, that he hasn't hit a home run against. You can see this: Nationals, Mets, Rockies, obviously, Marlins, Cubs, and Cardinals. I think Cardinals will change, Cubs and Marlins will change. Sooner or later, it's going to happen with the Mets. It could happen this year.
Well, he's going to spend the next 3 years in the National League, so they're all going to change. One strike count on Kadire. Ready 2. No, we have take 2. Slowly hit to Desmond. So the Rockies get 4 hits and a run in the inning.
6.
Right 1. 5. It's 8-1 Washington as we go to the 4th at Coors Field. 1.
Faders take us.
Our behind the scenes night here. We're inside the truck, our Root Sports production truck. We want to let you know Willeen Rosario did have the first hit of the night for the Colorado Rockies, so be sure to tune in tomorrow if that was your guess to @RootSports_RM and see if you were the lucky winner. We want to get to our tweet of the night. We asked you what was your favorite Coors Field memory. And here's the memory that we like so far. @ChrisML12, they said getting married at Coors Field on home plate 3 years ago today. So happy anniversary to you. Now, Mark Stout, he's roaming around inside Coors Field for places that you would never get to see. So, Mark, where are you at now?
Jenny, that says no media. Not tonight. We have access to the Rockies video room. It's right across from the clubhouse. Come on inside. The video coordinator, advanced scouts, this is where they get the Rockies ready for their opponent. They tape every Major League Baseball game, pitch by pitch, at bat by at bat, situation by situation. You can also take a look over here at the Rockies' opponent, the pitcher, on a loop, and the players can sit here and see their swings. Here's Carlos Gonzalez. Can watch his swing from 3 angles on a double last night on a 2-0 pitch against Gio Gonzalez. Players love this room. Back to you, Jenny.
Mark, thanks. We'll check in with you a little bit later. Don't forget, we are live streaming. Go to rootsports.com/Rocky Mountain. You can see what's happening inside the truck the entire game. Drew?
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. Brian Jones, the Rockies video coordinator. Scott Alvis, his assistant. Bryce Harper leading off. Jeremy Guthrie is now on the hill for the Rockies in the 4th inning. And this is a hop up the shallow left. This is going to drop. Harper is going to reach second.
Yeah, that's a tough hop for Chris Nelson to even try to handle. I mean, that ball was like 3 feet out, coming at 95 miles an hour. Right there in front of him like this. As much as he wanted to try to get it, if it's a throw all the way in the air, he's out by 5 feet. Instead, it's a double. Second base hit for Harper in the ball game.
This is true to form, George. This is a kid that plays like his pants are on fire. Once he stopped watching it, he just takes off. He's stretched a lot of singles into doubles already.
Well, that's the thing that was impressive to me. He was standing still whenever he made that, decided to make that turn and take off. A very wide turn at second. And the ball shot away from Chris Nelson. Tough ball to hang on to. 2 games out of the bullpen for Jeremy Guthrie. 3 no hits. Let's take one more look at this throw from Cargo. He just wheels and fires, but see that short hop at about 90 miles an hour right out in front of Nelson. Guthrie's has thrown 3 innings of no-hit baseball, 3 1/3 innings of 3-hit baseball, and no runs allowed since going down to the bullpen.
That was a swing. 2-strike count on Ryan Zimmerman.
That score right, Doug, in New York, 17-1 over the Cubs.
Yeah, it's done. That was this afternoon. The Mets hit, I think, 5 home runs.
Wind's blowing out at Wrigley.
For one team, it was.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. After playing there 3 years, when it blows out, one team can take advantage of it, another one can't. Depends on the pitcher. But 17 is not a normal number. Not in that park. Not typically.
1 and 2 on Ryan Zimmerman.
Murphy, Harrison, and Davis all had 4 RBIs today, and Mr. Wright, the third baseman, had 5 RBIs today.
Atlanta's 3.5 back. The Mets 4.5 back in the East behind these Nationals. In the air to deep right center field. This one's going to be off the top of the wall. Fowler came over to help out, and Harper is going to score standing up. He had to wait to see if it would be caught. Back-to-back doubles, and it's 9-1. 3 RBI night for Ryan Zimmerman. Great hustle by Dexter Fowler.
Well, it really is, because when it shoots off of that, there is a screen cover in the front of that. So a lot of times it deadens it. It didn't. And Dexter sprinting from his center field position nearly 200 feet to get to that ball and make the throw in. I mean, Tyler's going back thinking he might still have a shot at the ball, and then runs into it. It's very high up off of that wall. I'll tell you, great hustle by Dexter. Dexter's not back in position yet. Guthrie run a little quick. you get a player out of position like that, where they're so far over as a pitcher, you know, I know you're frustrated. You gave up a couple of doubles back to back, a run scored, but you got to make sure your defense is set.
Two-strike count on Michael Morse. And that's going to find a seam on the right side. Colvin up with the baseball. Zimmerman stops at third. 3 straight hits to greet Jeremy Guthrie in the 4th, albeit the first one, Bryce Harper's, was a pop fly that just landed in the right spot.
Follow the Rockies on your phone with MLB.tv at-bat 12 app featuring pitch tracking, highlights, and a whole lot more. So go to MLB.com and get set up on at-bat 12. In 7 career starts versus the Nationals, very impressive numbers by Guthrie. 2-1, 1.96 ERA, and they hit 188 against him.
Ian Desmond, a line shot to short and a home run to dead center field. He had 4 hits and 5 at bats yesterday, 3 doubles. First time a National player had 3 doubles in a game in 3 seasons. And Desmond is naturally hanging out with his brother-in-law, Josh Renicky, and his sister. Made Josh go to the same breakfast place this morning, and he said, I sat in the same seat, had the same waitress, same meal. He told me, he goes, yeah, I'm not really that superstitious. I said, yeah, right. You and Helton and every other player in baseball.
You know, I didn't have a lot of the superstitions in that respect. It was like right sock on before left, but that was it, and never missed a national anthem. I didn't like sitting in the dugout watching 4 or 5 innings go to the bullpen. I went before the start of the game.
You had a mustache for 10 years.
Yeah, I did. Well, you won't let me have it back. Plus, it's changed colors. It's not dark brown anymore.
Desmond is gone, 1 out, and that'll bring up DeRosa, who has walked twice. Hey, Colorado, take a look at the road ahead, powered by your Colorado Hyundai dealers. Step up to the plate and get more miles per gallon with the hottest car line in America, Hyundai. No television tomorrow afternoon, and then we'll resume on the air Friday. The Padres are in town. Pre-game show begins at 5:30. Saturday is a Fox regional game. This season, save responsibly when you shop at your Colorado Hyundai dealers. Check it out at coloradohyundai.com. Nationals 11 extra base hits yesterday. They have 6 tonight. 1-1 on DeRosa. First and third, Zimmerman at third, Morse at first. Nine runs on 10 hits here in the 4th inning for Washington. Short, chance for 2. There's 1, there's 2. 6-4-3 on the turn in the inning. A run comes around. A couple of doubles. Also a base hit from Michael Morse. 9-1 Nationals.
At Coors Field, the sun is just setting out there, but inside the truck, well, it's always nice and cool here. It is our behind the scenes night. This is Derek. He is our score operator. So every time the score is up there and correct, give this guy a thumbs up, right? Hey, if you want a chance to win an official rock bat, all you have to do is follow Root Sports at @RootSports_RM, and you can find out the details there. All right, let's check in with Mark Stout. I know he's someplace secret and fun.
Hey, Jenny, those stairs lead to the Rockies dugout. Here's the tunnel from the dugout to the clubhouse. Some equipment here. We're going to go inside the batting and pitching tunnel. This is where the players can come get some swings. Say they're not taking BP. Say it's a rainy day. They come in here. The pitches come every 7 seconds so they can get in their stance, get ready, and get a rhythm. Giambi might come in here before he knows he's going to pitch hit in a game. Let's go back to Jenny.
All right, Mark, thanks very much for the inside look there. You're getting all the good stuff there. We talked about our score operator here, Derek. Anything cool you got to show us?
Yeah, I got the whole system here. Got MLB right here. Got my scorebook. Got my marking pens like Drew Goodman up in the booth. So
but show them the most important part.
Gobstoppers.
Candy. Again, no food in the truck, but hard shelled, so we're all good. Drew?
Yeah, Derek's cousin, very high pick in the draft, Brett Mooneyham out of Stanford University. Derek didn't quite get his pitching talent, though.
My arm's a little weak. Plus, I'm a righty. He's a lefty.
But you're strengthening it up every time you punch a score in there.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
Actually, you know what? He was a pick of the Nationals. 1-2 on Tyler Colvin. He pops it up in foul ground. Zimmerman makes the catch. 1 out. Jordan Pacheco will be next. Rockies generally have played well against the Nationals at Coors Field the last few years. 9-4 here against the Nats.
And they played well against Montreal / Nats. So their best record against any other franchise in baseball.
Pacheco is going to have another hit. Wouldn't you figure? Been on twice. 302 average will go up. Chris Nelson will come up. Here's tonight's AT&T trivia question. The Nationals team ERA is 2.98. Who is the last team to have a sub-3 ERA for an entire season?
See, I was thinking maybe Oakland A's when they had the 420 game winners, the Baltimore Orioles when they had all those guys winning games. Cuellar, Palmer, they were pretty good.
You can pretty much eliminate the middle-late 90s into the first part of the 21st century. Weren't too many low ERAs then. Here's the 1-0 on Nelly. That's in. 2-0. Chris hitting .339 in the month of June. You know, in this season, George, that has been so dismal with the struggles of the starting rotation, there are some good stories. And Jordan Pacheco, Chris Nelson, and Willeen Rosario are 3 of them, and they're hitting successive spots in the order.
They have been nice stories, and I'll say Kadyr's done just about what I thought he would do too in the lineup. Of course, if you expect that from him, Gonzalez, Tulowitzki's injuries was a surprise, but these 3 youngsters have done a nice job. Something to build on for the future.
And Chris slops one to right, and it's dropped by Michael Morse. Pacheco will redirect and get to second base. Off the bat, I thought it was going to be a hit, but I realized Morse was playing pretty shallow. And then he just flat dropped it.
Snapped his glove a little bit early. Pretty embarrassing for a guy in the big leagues to have that happen to him. Comes in. I don't know if the lights above, there's not lights on right now, would have had an effect on this at times. I mean, that just looked like it hit the glove and ricocheted away. That wasn't very good.
Here's Rosario. He singled his first time. Got the Rockies' first hit, in fact. Zimmerman's pitch on the outside corner. It's 0-2.
Curveball good. Kind of locked him up a little bit with his knees, but the last pitch, very difficult at 95 on the knees, outside corner. Most clubs, when they've got ahead of the youngster, they bounce the curveball. He elevated a fastball instead.
On the ground is Zimmerman. And they turn 2 again. Around the horn for the second time in the ball game. It is the third double play they've turned behind Jordan Zimmerman. Downstairs, as we always do on Wednesday, and talk to the manager, Jim Tracy. Edward Cabrera makes his major league debut tonight. Every kid handles it differently. Do you think nerves were part of the shortcomings tonight?
Well, I'm sure that's the possibility. I think, as you mentioned, Drew, every guy handles things a little differently when they make their major league debut. The biggest thing I think tonight for Edouard, like we've seen a lot this year, is he had trouble commanding the strike zone early in the count. And when a young kid's out there making his major league debut, and you give the opposition the opportunity to condense the strike zone because it's ball 1 and ball 2, you've put yourself in a very compromising position.
Jim, the killer for me was 3 of 14 first pitch strikes.
That's it.
It just shut it out for him.
That's it, Drew. Or George, I'm sorry. You know, you're right. I mean, the lack of strike one, the opportunity to shrink the zone, like I said, gives them free swings where they're looking for a ball in just a small area of the plate. That makes it real hard, not only for Edouard Cabrera, but a 7 or 8 year veteran, if that's the way you go about it.
Hey, Trace, thanks as always.
All right, you guys.
All right, Jim Tracy downstairs. It is 9-1. The Rockies have been out hit 10-5. Tyler Moore's done a lot of damage, and he's not going to get on here. Diving catch made by Carlos Gonzalez to take a blue pit away from Tyler Moore, who had homered and doubled in his first 2 ABs. Nice catch.
Man, even a club that's struggling to win ball games, struggling to hold the opposition down, Gonzalez has not struggled, but like a lot of teammates in the outfield with the hustle side of things. Still playing the game very hard, as an all-star will. Nice play, Carlos Gonzalez. All about timing when you dive for a baseball, and concentration. Look at that eyes, never left the fly to the baseball when he stretched and laid it out to do it on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo camera. Tough play for Pacheco, a short hop backhand and a strong throw to Kadire.
Not an easy play, but he made it look so. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Zimmerman.
When you're looking at hops, you're trying to make a difference. You're trying to think, all right, where should I get to this baseball? Can I get up on it? No. But once he made that step forward, then that's where he had to backhand the ball. And it was a short hop into the glove. But he was able, when the ball short hops like that, if you bring the glove up as the ball's coming up, that's where you make the play easier for you, where a ball doesn't hit on the heel and bounce away from you.
Deep short, Scudero will throw out Zimmerman.
Nice inning.
Very quick inning. We can't thank the firefighters in the state enough.
Nationals, we are in the upper press box. This is the broadcast area. We're going to walk into the Root Sports broadcast booth. You see Drew, you see
Hi,
George.
Mark. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Hey, what's up, Charlie?
How are you?
Good.
We're good, real good, thank you.
This is where everything happens. They see the game, you see the perspective they have to call the game. This is Doug Marino. Doug is the stats guy, he's the stage manager.
He's the old hippie.
What do you guys call him?
The old hippie.
What do you call him, Drew?
I call him Doug.
He's invaluable,
kind of
though,
his
right?
Name. Doug is invaluable, and Doug travels with us most of the places we go. You know what Doug's brilliant at? He's a baseball historian. He loves the game as we do. But when George and I or Jeff and I go off on a subject, and we this is 3+ hours. Yeah, but this is 3+ hours of ad-libbing. And so sometimes you hit a subject that you had no idea you were going to get into, and boom, Doug is embellishing whatever we're talking about because he jumps on that computer and types like Evelyn Woods, and he comes up with information that enhances, again, whatever the subject matter is.
Now, Doug uses sticky notes.
He does.
To pass information along to you.
Well, because he can't talk to us during the game. That would be awkward.
That would be awkward, wouldn't it, Fred?
So he gives a sticky note. But what Doug does for me as a color analyst, the thing I like most about it is if I'm looking at a pitcher, what does he do with runners in scoring position? What do hitters do? How do they make the pitch? And Doug's already got the sticky tab in front of me immediately when that happens. That is a huge help for me. Guthrie comes up with a base hit here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
You could kind of say here, Doug, Guthrie, how many base hits?
Well, that's number 1,
right?
And his 20th at bat of the year. So even if Doug hands me the sticky note, I'd hand it right back to him and say, Doug, come on, I'm ahead of you.
That's his first hit.
That's his first hit this year. First hit.
All right, here's one for Doug. Ryan Zimmerman, over 1,000 hits.
Yes.
How many against the Rockies? He would know that, right?
Absolutely. In fact, all we have to do here, that's not. Come on, Mark, because I know how much research you do. That's an easy one. We just turned to page 3.
That's the game notes,
yeah. Right? Well, you're asking me about Zimmerman.
Yeah, Ryan Zimmerman.
Okay. Well, I have to go to their notes.
He homered tonight. He's got more than 1,000 hits. Look, he's got the sticky note.
See how he's done. Did you focus on that,
How
Charlie?
many against the Rockies?
He has 62 career hits against the Rockies. The most he has is 121 against Miami.
There you go.
Who he plays against his division.
Right.
He sees the Rockies not very often, so it's very impressive.
So where do you deposit
hits.
this after you read it? And
well, here's what I do. We deposit
right
it in the garbage a lot of times. No, but here's one of the signals I have for Doug. Like, he'll hand me a note and I'll like it. but I never get to it with a particular hitter. And so I'll do this, and I'll put it on Doug's computer, and Doug knows, hand it to me again next time he comes up.
Good stat to keep in mind for later in the game.
Here we go. Ready? There you go, Doug. Doug is brilliant.
Dougie, you did that well.
You know what it honestly is? It is 3 people that are all researching this for the same broadcast that night, and 3 is better than 2.
When do you start your research as we watch this fly ball to right?
Let's see if Michael Morse can make this catch. 2 outs, that'll bring up Carter.
For me, I mean, like on this series coming up, I was at home in Oklahoma, and I knew the series was going to start, you know, when they got back in town. So over the weekend, I actually watched Washington parts of 3 games that they played, looked at their notes from previous time. I read the Washington Post. I called Bob Carpenter, who's their play-by-play guy, and a friend of mine. I visited with him about their ball club. I called 2 other scouts to find out how they were playing right now that I knew had been covering them. And then when I get to the park or to the hotel here in Denver where I'm staying, I read the papers. I get on the internet. I print out the roster changes. Anybody been hurt, not hurt. I always look on the other team. For me, it's big. I always look on the other ball club to see who's on that team that I played with or against. It's like Steve McCaddy's over there, you know, and Davey Johnson. I know Davey pretty well. Then I'm comfortable to go talk to them and find out information about their ball club, who's playing well, who's swinging the bat well. And FP Santangelo, their color analyst next door, is a guy that played, so and he's valuable information, as they do to Drew and I. They'll come to Drew, they'll come to me, and ask questions about pitchers, about players, who's hot, is this guy really as good as what we read in the papers, or is things going as poorly as it should be here? So, I mean, you know, that's where you interchange a lot of information. You can use a lot of sources through newspapers, scouts, television, the radio, to get what you need to prepare for a ball game. But I like to get to the park every day about 1:30.
Yeah, you're here early. Hey, show Drew's scorebook, because he has this made every year, particular. And Drew, I know, you know, you keep that as a reference guide, and it's another thing that's invaluable.
Yeah, it's people always say, why is it so big? And I said, well, they play a lot of games in baseball, and I use different colors to signify different things. That pitch misses. It's 3-1. And you can look back at different points, like obviously in 10 days we're going to be in Washington facing the Nationals again. So Jordan Zimmerman, if he pitches, I'll probably look back at my scorebook and say, okay, how did he do here? And in what situations did he face certain hitters? So, and then, you know, down the road, it's nice to have kind of documents that whole season. That's a walk. So Dexter will move to second, Cargo to first. Kadire will come up with 2 men on. My preparation, not dissimilar to George's. Get on the internet in the morning and get to the ballpark 3.5 hours in advance. And, you know, Mark, you're doing the same thing. We talk to players and coaches and read notes and articles and then sit down the easy part, sitting down and doing the broadcast.
You also make a point of going to BP and hanging out around the cage, and there's some great tidbits there too.
Absolutely. It's not only one of my favorite things to do, but I get a ton of information just standing there for literally, you know, an hour and a half talking to guys around the cage, because guys are really loose during batting practice. And
it's just a conversation too that you're having.
Absolutely. And you develop, you know, George has been in the game as a player and as a broadcaster for 30 plus years.
Long time. You didn't have to go there.
Well, okay. And, so you end up seeing guys that become, you know, old friends, so to speak.
Well, and last night, like after the ball game last night, I go to the hotel. I walk into the lobby, and the first guy I walk into is Mike Rizzo, their general manager. What are you doing, Fraze? Nothing. Well, okay, come on, sit down over here. We're going to have a couple of hors d'oeuvres. We're going to talk. And you're fortunate enough to get a couple of hours with people at that level, you know, to spend time with them and where they think with their ball club. Because, you know, it's last night I said, come on, really? Really? You're going to shut Strasburg down, really? And he's like, yeah, really, I am. You know, we're looking at the big picture 20 years down the road. We're not looking right now. And I said, boy, that's going to be a tough task come September 15th. Your 3.5 game lead, 2 game lead, you need a W. And he goes, you know what? You're right. It's going to be tough. But we also want to see the kid next spring. Yeah. We don't want a Mark Pryor. We don't want a flash in the pan. We want to be able to have a guy that's going to win a lot of games for us for a lot of years.
Yeah, you know what? Very quickly, I like Mike a lot. He's one of the most personable GMs. He's done a terrific job. But if they have a chance to go to the postseason and beyond,
I hear you.
That kid's going to be involved. So
he's going to be pitching.
His DL time may come well before then to shorten his innings.
More behind the scenes at the ballpark when we come back.
To 1 as we head to the 6th inning. Of course, it's our behind the scenes night, so we're taking you throughout the truck right now. I'm on the front bench. Wave, gentlemen. There they are. Tape guys. More tape guys. This is how you see all the stuff, all the fun stuff. Hey, we're also wanting to get involved with you at home, so we want to know what your favorite memory at Coors Field is. We already asked it earlier in the show. We've had some great ones coming. Don't forget to tweet them to @RootSports_RM. Hashtag be here. We'll read some of them later in the show. You have a chance, if you're the one we pick, because it's the best one, to win a Rockies jersey. So tweet away. Drew?
Jenny, thank you. These guys in the tape room do tremendous work every night. Two-strike count on Danny Espinosa, and Guthrie's pitch inside ball 1.
One thing explain to the fans at home about those tape machines, you know, it's not just 1 or 2. There's 12 machines running tonight. So out of those 12 machines, you see them turning the buttons, running stuff back, looking for pitches, trying to look for plays that Tavis may be calling for. But they are trying to pull everything back out of that to make it all work. And I think, you know, to get you 6 looks at a slide at second, 4 looks at a guy at a call at first base. Those are big things. Wave everyone. Chano, what are you doing, buddy? Got on his Hawaiian shirt. That's Mike Chano.
Yeah. Can I tell you what this deal is?
Looks good on you, Mike.
Mike, production manager, out of the office, heard that we were taping and he wanted to get some FaceTime.
No, I don't think so. He's had a lot of opportunities over the last 51 years in television to get FaceTime.
That's wrong.
But he's really looking at, you know, Mike's done about everything in a television truck you could do. But I think, you know, that's something I want to explain to you. All those people have different decks they're looking at, different shots of what they're looking at. I'm able to pull that up to give you the best replay they can in baseball.
Well, everything's computerized nowadays. It used to be you had to literally backtrack. Now a time code, boom, you're instantly where you marked a highlight.
Well, the thing you don't hear, maybe we'll do it here in just a minute. We'll do it on a pitch for Tavis and the fans at home. And when I do a replay, maybe we do one right here where I want you to stop, hold it. Yep, a very wild throw by Chris Nelson.
You could tell that was going to be a problem. Just watching how that ball was approaching Nelson. He went to the outfield grass and he was going to get an in-between hop. You could see it coming.
Taking the angle on the ball where it was hit. I think that's part of it. Tomahawked this thing to the right side. He's trying to go back on the baseball to get a good hop. Pops, hits the heel, pops out of the glove, and then try to recover to get to the baseball. Flat foot throw with a lot of velocity. That's why, you know, you're talking about crow hop or get your weight to the back foot, shift forward. That's a flat foot throw that's very difficult to do. Kadire could not stretch to get that.
The Rockies' third error of the ball game. The first two owned by Willeen Rosario. 9-1. Rockies have been out hit 10-6. Bryce Harper a single and a bloop double in the game. Also a 4-6-3 double play. And he may have hit into another double play. Scudero's going to take it himself.
After the initial inning by Guthrie, where he gave up 3 base hits in a run in a row, it settled in pretty nicely.
That error, by the way, for Chris Nelson, I thought it was his first over there, and it is. His other errors this year have been at third base. Fifth error overall. Ryan Zimmerman a home run and a double, also an RBI groundout. So each one of his at bats has produced a ribby. Ball 1. Gets the bat broken, a pop up to shallow left. Scudero and Cargo has right away. He calls off Scudero and makes the catch. Another good inning for Jeremy Guthrie. 9-1 Washington. Time now for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. It's our behind the scenes night. There's Artie Pankoff, been in the business so while. Our tape room. Good thing red and green. There's Krista doing all our graphics tonight. Donnie Mills, who doesn't belong in the truck. He is a camera operator. But he followed him for years on Nugget games as well. Donnie always finds his way to be in front of that camera. Hi, Donnie.
I think you're very entertaining, by the way.
Colvin on the ground to short. Desmond up with it. He throws a dart across the infield. 1 out in the 6th inning. That'll bring up Pacheco, a walk and a single.
Doug, is that Lucas Harrell from the pitch for Houston tonight that shut out San Diego 1-0? I think it is. He's made some really strong pitches.
are 2 outs as Pacheco's retired for the first time. 2 gone. That'll bring up Chris Nelson. Time for tonight's CenturyLink high-speed pitch. Fast speed and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. Zimmerman 95. Guthrie, third pitcher used tonight for the Rockies, has touched 94. Jeremy doing a good job again pitching in that middle relief role. Nelly, a 5-4-3 double play and a soft liner to right that was dropped by Michael Morse. So Chris reached there. And this is knocked down by Jordan Zimmerman. He recovers and throws out Nelson. It's a 1-2-3 6th inning for Jordan Zimmerman. Nationals 9, the Rockies 1. We're off to inning number 7. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your Colorado Hyundai dealers and America's most fuel-efficient car company, Hyundai. By Sonic, it's officially summer, so roll up and try the all-new Holy Guacamole Dog and Chili Cheese Fritos Coney. And by the Courtyard by Marriott, Western elegance in the cultural heart of the city. Nice job, Mike Fox, getting back inside the stadium. Michael Morse to face Jeremy Guthrie. Edward Cabrera in review made his major league debut tonight. It didn't go as he dreamt it would. 2 1/3 innings, 7 runs, 5 earned, 7 hits, 3 walks, and a strikeout. Matt Reynolds came along, got the final 2 outs of that 3rd inning. He gave up a run on a couple of hits. Jeremy Guthrie, since that point in time, has pitched pretty well. He gave up a run in the 4th inning, a bloop double, a big double by Zimmerman. Scored a run. That was the fly ball double initially by Bryce Harper. He's retired 8 in a row, and Morse ends that run. Let's check in with Jenny.
Hey guys, Mike Fox. You might throw some more paper from behind me, so watch out. Hey, we want to get you interactive on Twitter, so follow us at @rootsports_RM. Right now, why don't you tweet to that address how many strikeouts you think the Rockies are going to record in this game? I know we're in the 7th inning. There's 2 strikeouts now, so start with that number and perhaps go up. You have 3 innings left, at least in regulation. So go ahead and tweet away, and maybe you'll win a fun prize. Drew?
Jenny, thank you. Ian Desmond at the plate. Desmond homered back in the 3rd inning. 12 home runs, second among National League shortstops to Jed Lowry of Houston. Lowry's got 14. Well, we learned some things we wanted to pass along to you about the club today. Jorge De La Rosa is going to be shut down now for an extended period, and in all likelihood there's a possibility you could see him in September, but Tommy Johns are a tough injury. You come back from them, but it takes a while. This is cut off by Dexter Fowler. Morse will stop at 3rd. Ian Desmond's 4th double in the last 24 hours.
Well, I'll say this about Tommy John, and my experience with it was, of course, with my own son Parker. He came back very quickly. Within 9 months, made 15 starts. But I don't think he was at full boat where he felt really comfortable until the following spring, where there was not any pain, felt really free, didn't feel the effects in between starts. And so I think it is that, I didn't want to believe 12 to 18 months, thought it was a different path for different people. But, it's about 18, 24 months before you're feeling 100% with everything. And I think, for De La Rosa, it's a smart thing to do.
Well, Jordan Zimmerman had Tommy John surgery in 2009. And he got 17 ball games the next year between a bunch of different spots. Dexter runs it down, and Morse tags and scores. Desmond moves to 3rd. De Rosa with a sac fly, his 3rd RBI. And it is 10-1. Time for the Home Depot doing more on defense. Home Depot, more saving, more doing. Here's the catch Cargo made to rob Tyler Moore of a base hit back in the 5th inning. We've seen Cargo do that a few times, haven't we? Home Depot doing more on defense. We'll get back to that graphic real quick. Tommy John, Jordan Zimmerman's gone through it. So many pitchers have gone through it, and it takes at least a calendar year. And the way things are going, you're going to err on the side of caution.
Well, that's what I was talking about, 18 months typically till you're back 100%. Some pitchers like Capuano's done it twice. Smoltz had it done twice and came back to full strength both times. Listen, the ball club right now's record speaks for itself. Is there that big a rush to take a chance on De La Rosa and try to push things? No, absolutely not. I kind of like what Jim Tracy's doing here, and a little bit in the honor of Guthrie. I mean, it's a 9-run game right now. You're in the 7th inning. He's got the infield halfway because Guthrie has got it up today. He's pitched pretty well. He's given up 1 run, or 2 runs, excuse me, over this long span of relief here. Try to cut that run down for him. Make an out, get it to first base for Jeremy Guthrie. He's given up 2 runs now in 9 2/3 innings of work out of the bullpen since being shifted down there. I think with Tommy John, it's you're replacing a nerve and an elbow in your throwing arm, and it's a matter of building everything back up to standard. And everybody got real excited in spring training. They got excited in the first couple of rehabs because Jorge was throwing the ball well. It was free and easy, and nothing hurt.
Strikeout to Tyler Moore. Solano's at the plate. Jonathan, I should say. 1 for 2 and a walk tonight. Down the first base line, a fair ball. Desmond scores, and it's 11-1. It's a 3 RBI night for Solano, who had a single RBI the entire year coming in.
And it does hug the line. It's a right-handed bat, so you're playing off the line. Kadire, good effort with the dive. Just not able to come up with it.
Solano 16 ABs coming into the evening. And Jordan Zimmerman takes ball 1. Nolan Arenado, it was also announced, will most likely finish the year where he started it at AA Tulsa. And he gets a lot of attention. Hear his name quite a bit on the radio show. We hear it walking around town. Nolan Arenado is a tremendous prospect. Great year last year in the California League. MVP of the Arizona Fall League, which included Bryce Harper. Bo McLaughlin's going to walk out.
Well, the thing about Nolan, I've watched Nolan now in almost 30 games, being home in Tulsa and seeing what he could do there. He's hitting 290. He's got some home runs, got some RBIs. He's been able to make plays at third base. And unfortunately, Nolan at times will lapse down and not run out of baseball or not make the play you think. And that has nothing to do with his abilities. What it has to do with is being a frustrated 21-year-old kid. You know, he's had great success everywhere he's played. He's going to play at the big league level. He's going to be a very good big leaguer, I think, in time. But just let it breathe. Just let it happen. Troy Tulowitzki played there till the late August before he got a chance coming out of AA.
Well, as you allude to, George, there's a level of maturity that you have to play here, too. And it's unusual what Harper's doing as a 19-year-old. You don't see many, truth be told, you don't see many 21-year-olds
not very
able
many
to handle it. So the Rockies will move along at the pace they are with Nolan Arenado. The other kid to look for that you may see is Josh Rutledge.
Playing very well at shortstop, and with the injury to Tulowitzki, that may escalate getting him here. Rutledge has done a nice job there. For me, and watching the games, he has been the most consistent offensive, defensive player, and a guy with some speed.
Well, that's not good. Guthrie has walked Jordan Zimmerman, the pitcher, and that'll bring up Danny Espinosa for the 5th time.
The Super Suite Conference Center is available for game day or non-game day meetings for groups of 25 up to 200. 303 Rockies, space is limited, so make sure you make that phone call as soon as possible when you get your group organized and like to rent the conference center. '74 ball games for Rutledge in Tulsa right now. He's the young shortstop. 305, 10 home runs, 31 RBIs, and 13 stolen bases. Scored 48 runs. He has fielded at a clip of 97.9%.
One and two on Danny Espinosa. Adam Ottavino apparently will be next. Juan Nicasio probably will go out in about a week to begin his rehab.
Saturday's going to throw again to live hitters here at Coors Field. Take the 3-day break, then go make a 2-inning start, 4-inning start, and then hopefully work a 5 or 6 inning, work up to that 75, 80 pitch limit. So in order to do that, it's 15, 20 days away.
And Chacin's probably a couple of weeks away from competing in the minor leagues. Line to Cargo will make the catch on Espinosa. And that's all in the 7th inning for the Nationals. They score a couple of runs on 3 hits. They lead it 11-1. look back in the second inning. A long ball off the bat of Tyler Moore, his second in as many days. That was a two-run shot. In the third inning, Ian Desmond would hit one over the, that's Ryan Zimmerman, I should say, in the third inning. And later, Ian Desmond would hit one out to center field. 3 home runs, 11 runs in all for Washington. It's brought to you by Cooney Lexus, where luxury has an address. Roger Bernardina is now in the ballgame in left field, so Mark DeRosa comes out. Willeen Rosario will lead it off. Jordan Zimmerman's still out there, and why not? He's given up just 1 run on 6 hits as we check in again with Mark Stout. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Drew and George are one level above on the broadcast level of the press box. You hear the announcement now. We're on the lower press level. This is with the Root Sports crew here. Joel is talking to our producer, Alton. Joel, what's on tap for the postgame? What do you got going on?
Let's take a look here. Well, we got the highlights, although it's a lot of Washington going on. You like my chicken scratches there, the handwriting?
You can see all your flares over there, too, and your highlighters.
Yeah, you got to have the highlighter for the scorebook. Edouard Cabrera's Major League debut. We'll talk about how that went, obviously. Tyler Moore, his second home run in as many days. How about Carlos Gonzalez, by the way? 16-game hit streak here at home. So we'll talk about Cargo. He needs to go to the All-Star game.
Absolutely.
So we'll talk about Cargo a little bit.
All right. So there's Jeff. No, here's Jeff. There's Joel. Jeff, what about Cabrera's debut?
Yeah, it was one of those things where he had command somewhat of his changeup, but his fastball was not like you would want at the big league level. I mean, that's the difference between pitching at Double-A and the major leagues, because if you look at the home runs he gave up 2 of them on fastballs, 1 on a changeup, and you just can't do that. If you're going to miss your spots, you're going to get hurt. And tonight, he gave up 3 home runs of his last 8 guys that he faced.
All right, we have to hear from the Cowboy. Washington's offense has come alive.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just goes to underscore it's not just Coors Field, it's the way the Rockies approach it. I mean, they got 1 run in Coors Field tonight. A team that hasn't scored 10 runs all season suddenly has back-to-back games with 10 or more runs. I think you got to quit blaming the field for what's happening and start looking at yourself and figuring out just exactly what you've done to create it.
All right, so Drew, George, everybody's discussing what they're going to talk about on the post game here.
Yeah, are you going to get Bob Nightingale too? National writer over in the corner. What's he doing? Is he napping right now?
There's Bobby from USA
Bob's back
Today.
there.
Right.
Tell Bob to wave.
Bob, wave.
Bob, wave to. Tell him to wave to Frazier.
Wave to Frazier.
There you go. Thank
you. You got him.
And Bob grew up here.
Yeah, Bob's writes for USA.
This ball's tomahawked to pretty deep center field. It'll be caught, though, by Bryce Harper. 1 out, and that'll bring up Juan Nieves. Will Nieves, I should say. Juan Nieves used to pitch. The Nationals, team ERA of 2.98 currently. Who was the last team to have a sub-3 ERA for an entire season? It was the '89 Dodgers. They had a 2.94. Hershiser had a 2.31. Tim Belcher had a 2.82. Fernando Valenzuela 3.43. Tim Leary 3.38. Ramon Martinez a 3.19. Prominent members of that bullpen: Mike Morgan, Alejandro Pena, John Wetland. Very expansive writers' press box at Coors Field.
Well, it really is. I mean, most of them will sit together. There's Jay Albus down there with the white shirt. Looks white to you.
Slowly hit, and Zimmerman is not going to be able to throw out Nieves. I think he charges and throws in one motion as well as any third baseman in the game.
There's 3 guys. Two of the guys come to mind for me. One is the guy in New York, David Wright. I think he does a great job of that. Excellent job. We'll take another look at this right now. Here it is. A soft tapper up the third base line. Reaction to the baseball and accuracy of the throw. That throw just happens to catch Nieves in the back. It appeared to. Little late tail right there at the very end. Caught him right on the arm. You're going to see the ball coming in on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. Is going to catch right there on the wrist. Otherwise, he's out.
Dexter's 0 for 2 and a walk.
Now the Rockies dugout stores have everything to get you ready for Purple Mondays and beyond. Call 303-832-TEAM for store information. Part of the big success rate so far for Zimmerman on the mound going into this inning, he had 14 ground ball outs and only 1 strikeout. He has pounded the zone.
This ball's rifled to right, a base hit. So Dexter keeps the hitting streak alive. It's now an 8-game hitting streak. He's hit well over 400 during that stretch.
Trying to throw a slider to that area down and in, and the slider went to the outer part of the plate, hung as it got right there, and that's where Dexter made it pay for it. Steve McCaddy getting on the phone very quickly, calling down to the bullpen. He's thrown 92 pitches so far. He's worked into the 7th inning. 6 1/3.
Former starter Chin Ming Wang. Scudero an RBI hit in the 3rd, the Rockies' only run. That's a rocket to Desmond, and look at that. He turned it into a double play. He almost got knocked over with the baseball. Able to flip to Espinosa onto more double play. That's the 4th double play they've turned tonight. Time for the Excel Energy high efficiency inning. We go back to the 5th inning. It was quick and efficient for Jeremy Guthrie. He got Tyler Moore on a fly ball to shallow left. Great catch by Carlos Gonzalez. Ground ball to third off the bat of Solano. And then the pitcher, Jordan Zimmerman, his bat broken. He grounded out to Marco Scudero. Learn about energy efficiency and how to save money in your home by visiting responsiblebynature.com. Adam Ottavino will take over for Jeremy Guthrie. 4 innings of work for Guthrie as we go to the 8th inning. And the first pitch is swung on and grounded to second, and Bryce Harper is thrown out by Chris Nelson. Let's see what Jenny's up to again. Jenny?
Hey, Drew, we hope our viewers at home are following us on the live stream, which you can find rootsports.com/Rocky Mountain. You can hear the voices of our entire production crew here in the Root Sports truck. We've heard from Mike Fox a lot tonight, but we have a couple Twitter questions, and I want you to answer them live. So do your job and answer the questions.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
I understand.
Okay.
Ready for
A lot of people want to know, how many cameras do we use at a home broadcast, and how does that vary with a visiting broadcast?
Ready for it. Take 4. I still have to do my job, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Ready 2. We have on this show, ready 5, take 5. We have, actually today we have 19 cameras.
19 cameras.
Yeah, 19, including the 2 that are inside the truck.
Awesome.
So
and then on the road, how many
now.
cameras do we normally
Ready
have?
4, take 4. On the road, we typically have anywhere from 6 to 8 cameras.
Okay, 6
Yeah.
to 8. So I hope that answers. Sorry
Ready
to let
to?
you get back to work. He's
Ready
a good
19, take
multitasker,
19.
though. What do you think, Drew? He's always talking in our ears, but wow, that was pretty impressive.
Ask him to play the drums. He's a really good drummer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it, Jenny? You're out, huh?
I think we're out. I don't know. What
Oh,
else
no,
do you want to see?
oh, I thought you had more
we
questions.
have all access here. What do you want, Drew?
That's the first time they allowed you in there, isn't it?
Actually, it is. They don't like when I come in here and stir it up.
2-0 on Ryan Zimmerman, and it's 3-0 on Zimmerman. Crowd of 36,045 in the house tonight. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Jenny Kavnar, Mark Stout. Post game will be, you just saw it, Joel Klatt, Jeff Houston, and the Cowboy. Those weren't close. 4-pitch walk to Zimmerman.
/22 ball game for Ottavino. He has that 1-0 record, 3 holes, pitched very well, 25 strikeouts, 7 walks. Had been tried as a starter in a Cardinal organization for a number of years. The Rockies saw a little different opportunity to throw him in the bullpen. Again, talking about a power arm in the backside of a bullpen that can get it up to 96. Will pitch at 93, 94. An above average slider. It has worked well for Ottavino in the 7th, 8th innings, sometimes 6th innings and earlier.
Bad news, George, for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Daniel Hudson has a tear of the UC ligament, the ulnar collateral ligament.
He left yesterday's ball game after giving up 5 runs in just an inning and 2/3 with forearm stiffness. And then, as you said, the MRI ran today. Not something they were expecting, obviously, but Trevor Bauer will make his major league debut now. The long-awaited number 2 pick in the draft, number 2 pick in the draft last year by the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Some other news from baseball. Chase Utley activated, returned to the Philadelphia Phillies lineup today. First at bat. What do you think he did, George?
Went large.
He went large. Utley in his first AB hits a home run for the Phillies. Did it against James McDonald of the Pirates. Other news from Major League Baseball. Andy Pettitte broke his ankle. He's going to be out about 6 weeks. He was struck on a line drive off the bat of Casey Hodgman. Zimmerman to second. Morse is retired.
Well, the first 10,000 on Sunday, you're going to receive Roxy's Max HD sunglasses. Come early because there's a special appearance by Dante Bichette at the Autograph Sunday, sponsored by Max HD sunglasses.
Yankees actually just lost 2 starters because CC Sabathia has a groin injury. He's had to go on the disabled list. Meanwhile, the Yankees won again tonight. Their 5th in a row off a recent 10-game winning streak. Desmond swung on and missed. Time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Several to pick from for Washington tonight. We'll take Desmond hitting the ball out to center field. His 12th home run of the year despite a great effort from Dexter Fowler. Ottavino with a 96-mile-an-hour heater.
Not that the Rockies haven't performed. They haven't with runners in scoring position. Washington near 500, 5 for 13. Rockies 1 for 8.
Good slider, and Ottavino strikes out Desmond. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Rockies trailing 11-1.
Sports production truck as the Nationals lead the Rockies 11-1. We head to the bottom of the 8th. We are taking a look at some tweets of the night that you have sent to @RootSports_RM. Don't forget to hashtag be here. That's what these people did. Want to take a look at Shortman31169. They said one of their best moments at Coors Field was watching the Rockies' first game at Mile High, the first game at Coors Field, the first playoff game, and the first World Series game. He was there for them all. That is a very cool moment. And another moment we want to share is from @Christina Valenti. She said, when I walked into Coors Field for the first time after moving from New York and heard Jason Giambi's name in the lineup. Those are great moments. You can keep them coming. Again, it's @RootSports_RM. We're wrapping it up, but keep your questions coming about what you want to see in the production truck. We'll try and get it for you online. Follow along, rootsports.com/Rocky Mountain. We're live streaming. Drew?
Jenny, thank you. New pitcher for Washington, former Yankee Chin Ming Wong. Won 19 games twice with the Rockies. He had shoulder surgery in 2009. It's been a long battle back. He was moved to the bullpen last week.
But 5 ball games, a lot of those 2 prior to, and then went down to Syracuse where their AAA club was. I actually watched him make a minor league start one day, and he pitched well. I mean, he went 7 innings into the game. Still has the heavy sinker, long, a lot of ground ball outs, but the fastball velocity is down from when he won those 19 ball games.
Carr goes 1 for 2 and a walk, robbed of extra bases his first time up. Good play by Tyler Moore. A couple changes to tell you about. Rick Ankiel is coming to the ball game in center field. Bryce Harper will move to right. Roger Bernardina came in an inning ago. He's in left field. Oh, and 2 on Gonzalez. Cargo's average at 332. In a couple weeks, he'll undoubtedly be going to his first All-Star game. He held in Kansas City. First of what should be many. He's been close before.
And you know what? It's great that it's in Kansas City for him. Remember, all the time, it seems like guys always have to have the day off after because they're traveling to New York or the West Coast and they're getting in late. And it's the hoopla of the All-Star game. Now it'll be a little bit easier on Carlos Gonzalez. Has Steve Kemp or Matt Kemp made his decision on who's going to be on the
no,
home
and I hope he picks Cargo to be.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. I mean, this is one of those guys you got to pick, don't you?
That's another base hit. In fact, it's a tweener. It's going to roll to the wall. Cargo's going to have extra bats. And Keel drops it for a moment. And now Cargo headed toward third, and he'll have a stand-up. We'll see if it's called a triple or a double and an error.
Doing another sinker a little bit running away from him. And then it goes into the left field. And when it scoots out into that outfield, it's going to hit off of the wall. Rick Ankiel dropped the baseball, and that allowed him to advance. So it's a double E8 for Ankiel. That is Ankiel's second error of the season.
Dyer's 0 for 3. This is popped up and it's going to be playable in foul ground for Moore. Let's check in with Mark Stout, 1 out.
Right fielder, number 21, Tyler Colvin.
How cool is that? Up in the Jumbotron room, Reed Saunders is the voice of the Rockies. You hear him announce everybody and do all the announcements here at Coors Field. This is also on the broadcast level, and this sort of resembles our broadcast truck. There's everything here when it comes to gear and monitors and buttons to push. Take a look around the Jumbotron room.
All right, Mark, thank you. So 1 out, Tyler Colvin will come up. Whole lot of folks busy all day long on so many different fronts, getting ready to either, a television standpoint, put the ball game on the air, in stadium to provide an entertaining evening. This ball is smothered to deep center field, and it's off the base of the wall. Keel somehow caught it on the quick ricochet. A run-scoring double for Colvin. It's 11-2.
Yeah, the disappointment continues for Wong on the mound too. Sinker ball guy, and you've gotten 2 fly balls, one of them a line drive. This from Tyler Colvin. Ball elevated, able to just rip this baseball into dead center field. Rick Ankiel took off, hesitated a little bit, and then be able to get to the baseball and then get it back in. 11-2 Washington.
One for 2 and a walk for Jordan Pacheco. Colvin out at second base, continues to hit, 15 for his last 43, a 349 average, including 4 home runs. He's driven in 11 in his last 12 games participated. Pacheco with a base hit up the middle. And Colvin will come home with the Rockies' 3rd run. Jordan Pacheco with his 15th RBI.
Well, a part of keeping Nolan Arenado in Tulsa is the success this guy's happening right now at third base, too. He's hitting well over 300. He's picking everything in sight. And when guys are in scoring position, he will put the ball in play. And a lot of times he's going to drive that run in, as he did here with Tyler Cole. Jordan Pacheco's been outstanding.
What more do you want? Chris Nelson 0 for 3. Jordan Zimmerman went 7 innings, allowed a run on 8 hits, walked 3, struck out 1. He got a lot of ground balls. He got 4 double plays behind him.
Wong has never had a good swing and miss slider. It's all been ground ball outs, quick innings. When it gets elevated, it's not very good for success for him. And right now, 2 runs given up here in the 8th inning with just 1 out. Last pitch, a hard sinker, 92 miles an hour, and the bottom fell out of it. It really got some extension into the home plate area.
2-2 the count on Nelly. Down the third base line. What a pickup by Zimmerman. Cut it out. How about that play? I mean, that was extraordinary.
That's what the guy at first right now is saying, too. Come on, Zimmerman, give me a kid. Are you kidding me? Give me a shot at this thing. This thing's right down the line. I fought off the sinker, the jump throw, and an accurate throw to second base to get Pacheco. You know, the National League East has a couple of pretty good third basemen when you think about it, with David Wright and Zimmerman. 2 A+ guys.
2 guys from the same part of the country, too, that Southern Virginia area, the Chesapeake area. Rosario. Even at foul ground, he's a good fielder, huh?
Well, that's because he wants to be a nice guy, in case he ever wants to run for mayor here, so he can soft toss it up into the seats.
Breaking ball, and that's a strike on Willeen. And another breaking ball, and Rosario is done. So are the Rockies in the 8th. They score a couple runs, couple doubles, and a run scoring hit by Pacheco. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Jack in the Box. Right now, Jack in the Box, you can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club combo for just $4.99 plus tax. By Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. And by the Courtyard by Marriott, Western Elegance in the cultural heart of the city. Rockies trailing 11-3, top of the ninth inning. Coming up after the ball game, rain or shine, win or lose, Joel Klatt and the crew. Joel?
All right, thanks, Drew. The Rockies pitchers right now, they got to feel like they're all washed up. Washington, 34 hits, 23 runs in the last 2 ball games. Lots of offense for the Nationals. Plus, Sweet 16, Carlos Gonzalez, a 16-game home hitting streak. Guys, we're going to talk about how this dude deserves to go to Kansas City. Carlos Gonzalez needs to be an all-star in next week's, or a couple weeks ago from now, in the all-star game. Plus, Jim Tracy down in the clubhouse. That's coming up on the Toyota postgame show. Drew, back to you.
All right, Joel, I don't think we need to worry much. Carlos Gonzalez will be an all-star. Rex Brothers is going to pitch the ninth inning.
34th appearance for Rex. Everything changed since going back to Colorado Springs. He had 22 appearances when he was sent out. Slowed the game down, got a breath of fresh air, and was back here. Struck out 13 batters in a little over 6 innings of work down there. So here he is coming on to face Bernardina to start off the top of the ninth inning. Left on left to match up. Rex has shown a consistent fastball, 94 to 98, since his return from Colorado Springs. So first offering at 96.
One strike count on Roger Bernardina. And that's in there. Roger knew it. Roger, one of those players, more and more have come out of Curacao. He's been up and down with Washington each of the last 5 years. A couple of years ago, he hit 11 home runs for the Nationals. And on that feeble swing, he is dismissed, 1 out.
Difficult to come off the bench like this, face a guy throwing 96, throwing sliders in the high 80s and expect him to do anything.
That's not a lot of fun, is it?
Not fair.
Stepping up, Tyler Moore. He has been impressive in this series, swinging the bat. 2-run home run and a double tonight. 2 for 4. And he's now 3 for 5. A rocket up the middle. Some scores from the National League. Brewers over the Reds 8-4 tonight. Brewers are now 34-41. The Reds dropped 8 games over 500. Greinke's 9-2. The Mets, we talked about it earlier. They beat the Cubs 17-1. Daniel Murphy a couple of home runs. Ike Davis hit a home run. Hairston hit a home run. David Wright drove in 5. Giants shut out the Dodgers behind struggling Tim Lincecum. He beat Chad Billingsley.
So Lincecum did not struggle today.
He did not struggle today. Only 4 hits allowed.
Yeah, remember what was it, last year, the year before, he ran that little stretch there where he had an ERA above 7, didn't pitch well, couldn't anybody out.
That was last year.
Yeah.
It's a nice play by Pacheco, and Rockies won't turn it, but a very nice play by Pacheco, inspired by the play perhaps of Ryan Zimmerman.
We've seen really good plays out of the third baseman in this ball game. Pacheco's made a couple of backhands. Now he's going to backhand dive to get to this baseball from one knee. A strike to Nelson, and then Nelson had a little bit of hesitation getting the ball out of the glove, and the double play not completed.
That'll bring up Rick Ankiel. He's hitting in the pitcher's spot. Lincecum went 7 innings, by the way, in that ball game. He allowed the 4 hits, walked 2, struck out 8. So it was a Tim Lincecum type performance. Pirates came back, beat the Phils 11-7. Pirates under Clint Hurdle now 39-35. McDonald behind early, hung in there, got his 7th victory. McCutchen a home run for Pittsburgh. Mike McHenry, the former Rocky, hit his 5th. Utley his 1st. Carlos Ruiz his 11th. In fact, they went back to back in the 1st inning. Braves over the Diamondbacks 6-4.
You know, mentioning Pittsburgh, Drew, they'll fall in now just 2 back, along with St. Louis, tied for 2nd in the National League Central.
Tommy Hanson got the win for Atlanta. He's 9-4. Trevor Cahill took the loss. Kimbrel is 22nd save. And Rick Ankiel, a strikeout victim. 2 punch-outs for Brothers in the top of the 9th. We'll go to the last half of the 9th. It's 11-3 Nationals.
Nationals lead the Rockies, but there's hope. It is the bottom of the 9th. Welcome back into the Root Sports production truck. We've had a fun night. Hope you've had a fun night and learned something as well. If you participated in our online contest on Twitter at RootSports_RM and you guessed 6 strikeouts, well, hopefully you're a winner. You'll have to stay tuned to our Twitter page tomorrow and see if you won. Hey, stay connected with Root Sports Facebook, Twitter, on our website. We have some great contests, and we'll continue our behind-the-scenes footage all season long. So, again, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed our live streaming and all of our fun antics in the truck here tonight, what Mark Stout showed you around the ballpark. We will send it back to Drew to finish out the 9th inning.
Jenny, thank you very much. You and Mark, terrific job tonight. There's Bo looking at his camera, all fired up because Wimbledon, the fortnight that is Wimbledon, is underway. Our biggest tennis fan on the crew. Mike Gonzalez pitching the 9th inning. Chris Nelson, or excuse me, Johnny Herrera at the plate. Johnny pinch hitting. Saw Mike last night. 12th appearance for Gonzalez.
He's done a really nice job for them. Obviously, no runs given up in 7 2/3 innings. Earned runs, that is. 6 strikeouts, 3 walks in 11 ball games.
(3-0) on Johnny. Marlins beat the Cardinals tonight 5-3. There's a strike. Miami's been reeling. They'd lost 8 of 10, but again they win tonight. That is ball 4. Who Wants Tacos? Fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more for the Rockies Taco Special, text the keyword taco to 720-720. Message and data rates may apply. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. Dexter Fowler, 1 for 3 and a walk. He's got an 8-game hitting streak. This ball's blasted to deep center field, and it is off the very top of the wall. Herrera around third. He's coming home. The throw is cut off. Run scoring double, Dexter Fowler, and it's 11-4. But Dexter, he is, as we've said many times, as streaky as they get. He can be cold, punch out an inordinate amount of times, but when he's hot, look out.
And from the right side, displaying that power into left center field. Dexter is one of those guys. You just got to live with the fact that it's going to be 265 to 275 when the season ends. This year, you're adding the power, the doubles, and the triples to all part of what his arsenal is, and it's pretty good to watch right now.
He's got a really high slugging percentage. And keep in mind, Dexter walks a lot, so his OPS, on base percentage plus slugging percentage, is outstanding. In fact, Dex came into the ball game over 900.
4 out of his last 5 ball games, he's had multiple hits in, so that average jumping very quickly for Fowler.
Scudero fouls it off. Former closer with Pittsburgh and Atlanta. 2-pitch mix, basically. It's either fastball or slider, and it's more or less one or the other. Other National League score. Padres are on their way here on Friday for a weekend set. The Astros beat them tonight 1-0. Now it's Harrell over Clayton Richard. Matt Downs a home run, the only run in that ball game.
Now that Houston ball club starting to rebuild. A year ago, their minor league system, 98 games under 500. This year at the All-Star break, for a majority of them, they were 3 games over 500. So a big, huge turnaround for the Houston minor league system. The other day, Dallas Keuchel came from AAA through their first complete game, 9-inning complete ball game. A base hit for Scudero. Fowler will score, and it's 11-5. Nobody out here in the ninth.
Second RBI of the night for Marco Scudero. That'll bring Carlos Gonzalez to the plate. He's already had a couple hits tonight and a walk.
And their bullpen's getting stirred up a little bit. They've seen it enough. Breaking ball. Scudero, nice job. Goes down and gets this pitch. And because it's off speed, a lot of times you'll pull that ball into the hole. He took it right back up the middle.
Cargo whistled a double to left center field his last time up. And he took a home run hack there, didn't get any baseball. It's 0-1. I'm going to show you his power zone, where he does the most damage and where it is brightest red. That is where the ball comes off the bat at more than 90 miles an hour.
That was in the power zone there.
And we've all watched Cargo the last few years. That ball middle away, he punishes. Not that he doesn't hit other pitches well. We know he does. You don't hit 330 plus. You don't win a batting title without being able to hit everything. Rangers beat the Tigers 13-9. Roy Oswalt went to 2-0 in a Texas uniform.
Surprising that there's quotes about Texas in watching Zach Greinke.
fly ball to mid-range right center field, and Keel's going to make the catch. That'll bring up Kadire. He's 0 for 4. Yankees over the Indians 5-4. Baldo Jimenez took the loss in that game. He's 7-6. Andy Pettit was the starter for the Yankees as Davey Johnson comes out. He was hit on the leg by a line drive, fractured ankle, out 6 weeks. Robbie Cano, his 18th home run for the Yankees. Rockies have rallied a little bit here in the 9th. Ryan Matthews coming in when we come back. Tune in after the Rockies game on Saturday for Rockies All Access grand opening in Grand Junction. We're hitting the road to show you the Rockies' new Rookie League team. You'll meet first-round draft pick David Dahl, and we'll bring you the sights and sounds of their opening night. It's Rockies All Access grand opening in Grand Junction Saturday at 4:30 in the afternoon. Former Rocky farmhand Ryan Matthews on the hill. Rockies trailing 11-5, 1 out in the 9th. Kadire takes a strike. Matthews always possessed a real good arm. 93 to 96 with the heater.
A lot of sink to his fastball. Last year, 35 games he pitched in for the Washington Nationals. He threw 32 innings. He only gave up 26 hits. Just 1 home run over those 32 innings. Walked 15, struck out 12. This year, the walk strikeout ratio much better, 16 and 8, 21 and 2/3 innings. Earned run average of 1.93.
And Matthews redirects it to Espinosa. He'll still get Kadire at first. Matthews was traded back in 2009 for Joe Beimel.
Along with Robinson Fabian, a right-handed pitcher, a big, strong kid that just never panned out for the Washington Nationals.
Two outs, Scudero at second. And Tyler Colvin, he had a double off the base of the center field wall to drive in a run last inning. And a strike. Ground ball up the middle. Desmond's going to get there. Quick release, throws it away. And it ricochets back into the field of play. Scudero will stop. I don't know. It's be an interesting one to score. Is it Hit an infield hit. I thought Desmond did well to get to the baseball, and they'll give him a hit.
It is right over the top of the mound. I think Desmond got a little quick because his feet got out from under him. If he goes ahead and makes that good strong throw, watch where the runner is when the ball crosses over. It's an accurate throw, he's out. He wasn't. It's a base hit, good for Tyler.
Pacheco's got a couple of hits, also a walk. Colvin will move to second. Two and out. Two and one, called a strike. A couple scores we didn't tell you in the American League. White Sox beat Minnesota 12-5. Adam Dunn at his 24th home run. Boston over Toronto 10-4. Batista's 25th. Encarnacion his 22nd. And he didn't hold up on that one.
And the previous pitch, same thing. He started to offer to the sinker down and in. And it was called a strike by home plate umpire Ed Hitchcock.
Kansas City 5-4 over Tampa Bay tonight. Billy Butler hit his 15th home run. Broxton's got 19 saves, George.
Not surprising. He's a guy who came back from that elbow deal and obviously doing pretty good with it. Earned run average below 2.
Oakland beat Seattle tonight 2-1. Jared Parker won again. He's 4-3. And the Angels in Baltimore tonight beat up the Orioles 13-1. Jared Weaver's now 8-1. Torrey Hunter hit his 10th home run. Jason Hamill took the loss. Hamill's now 8-3. This is on the ground to Zimmerman. He's got time, and that's the ball game. Rockies rally for a couple of runs in the ninth, but way too much damage done early in the game in Edward Cabrera's major league debut. They got 7 runs, 5 earned off of him, and the Nationals cruise to their second victory in 3 nights against the Rockies. Davey Johnson's club is now 43-30. They enjoyed the best record in the National League. The Rockies, for the first time this year, fall 18 games below 500. They're 28-46. Again, the final